Hassad.
Coming to you live from
Space.
The Church of Rock.
Church of Rock, yeah, this is a church.
We have to call it a church now, or else we'll get arrested and put into a Google log. So.
Not yet. In T-minus an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah.
Then we'll get gulagged.
Yeah. Fuck, I might get gulagged when I go home, man. Like when I'm walking, we're both walking home. It's gonna be after midnight.
Too, yeah.
After noon o'clock in the evening, I'm gonna get fucked. Cops gonna roll up to me and
really
be like, What are you doing? Where are you going? What's your address? You know what's funny?
I was legitimately worried about that.
I don't have.
We get out of here after midnight. Are the cops just gonna be like, "Hey, get fucked"?
Here's the thing with that, though. The thing with like.
But how much could they really crack down? Because like obviously at that point in the night, I'm obviously walking home. Like what else am I going to be doing?
Well, and the thing with us is
and
like,
I am also literally walking home. So like that's an incredible thing, right?
Yeah. The thing with that is like, oh, where are you coming from? It's like, oh man, I'm coming from basically an apartment that I rent. You know, what are you doing there? Well, I was playing music by myself. Like that's going to be my excuse. I'm not going to adhere to that. It's not like you and I are going to fucking underground bachelor parties and shit where there's strippers and whatnot, and we're fucking doing fucking crazy drugs and all this crazy stuff with like 300 people and in some underground disco saloon.
This is a place that we actually rent. Like I don't know, like.
Well, and they did say that like you can
come here ever again.
Well, I mean, and I understand like the whole like curb the wave and all that shit, and like I do understand there's a virus and stuff, but it's like, dude, like if I'm coming here to play my drums and I'm by myself, who am I hurting? Like what's going on here? I'm gonna walk from my house to here, which is like I don't know, maybe I think it's like 1.6 kilometers or something. From where I live, I'm pretty sure that's what it is on like when I Apple Map or Google Map or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
You know, who am I hurting? Even if I fucking had COVID and I'm a fucking asymptomatic dude. What's going on? I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna play my drums.
Clearly, you're
like,
killing
fuck
everybody in the city. If you do that,
and the possibility of me being stopped to be questioned for that, like. Hey officer, like I'm going to play music. Well, that's not essential. Well, no, man. Like to me, that like I work and then I go home and then that is it. And you're gonna tell me I can't take a short walk to this place which is completely secluded, in an essence. And I'm not. Yeah, it essentially is this is what it is. Like where we are talking from right now is a fucking bunker, which happens to have some. Insane arpeggios happening in the background.
Yeah, the guys next door are recording an album right now. So
yeah, but I mean, like they're also doing their own thing. It's like, dude, you're gonna tell me what I can and cannot buy, but you're also gonna tell me that I can't fucking play music. Like, fuck right off, man. It's not like we're playing shows here. It's not like we're doing any of that shit. It's just like, hey, man, I'm just coming here to get my steam off. You want me to take it out? From the guy across the street? Like, I don't fucking know what you want me to do, man. Like, I'm just. Keep me cooped up as long as you want. I haven't been able to go out anywhere. I haven't been able to play shows. No one's been able to play shows. You haven't been able to play shows. No one's able to do anything.
Yeah, no one's able to do.
But that's my
anything,
fear, right? You know? Like I'm gonna get like the way my whole brain works is like I'm gonna get fucking questioned by some fucking rookie cops and be like, "Where are you going? What are you doing?"
Some fucking 19-year-old doesn't know.
Yeah, man. Like fuck right off, dude. I'm going to play drums, man.
Yeah, but it is a freaky time, you know? Like,
well,
how much more of our rights are they willing to take away?
So I was listening to News Talk 1010 today.
Yeah.
Me and the guys from work before the Doug Ford, fucking douchebag Ford.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. You know what the thing is, man?
He got a fucking haircut, man.
Dude, did you hear his reasoning for the haircut? Was that his daughter had a pair of dog trimmers at home, and she fucking did them up. What?
Sure.
Buddy, you fucking lied.
Yeah, that doesn't
It's
look
a good
like
haircut,
trim.
man.
Yeah.
It's better than mine. I did mine at home, and it looks like shit. I'm
Yeah.
still rocking it. It looks terrible. My buddy's got a mullet. He did it, but no, he actually went somewhere to get that done. While you could legally go get a mullet.
Yeah.
But I mean, now you can't even legally go get a bad haircut. I can't even legally go get my terrible back tattoo because, you know, tattoos are dangerous because there's been so many outbreaks with tattoo parlors.
Yeah.
There's been zero. Tattoo parlors are cleaner than dentist office, if you ask me, man. And I fucking hate the dentist, but it's a non-biased opinion. Straight up though, like zero cases coming from tattoo parlors. From what I know that to be I shouldn't say fact. I mean social media fact, which is completely skewed nowadays if you look at what's going on with everything else. But as far as I've heard, it's like been zero cases coming out of tattoo parlors. Oh, because they're fucking clean as shit, and also 0 cases coming from like nail salons and hairstylists. Oh, because they're clean as shit. But you're gonna shut them down? Like,
yeah, obviously.
I mean, that's ridiculous. It's insane.
Yeah.
But up until recently, you were allowing like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, our commander in chief for the province, Doug Ford Nation Ford, fuck you. Yeah. Who I honestly thought, man, when this first started, I remember being up at the cottage with my family when, like, you know, we were. I don't even think it was legal if you want to talk in the weird sense of what they're bending the law to be at this point in time. But that was last April. No, sorry, it was that would have been October. Yeah, right before Halloween, I went up near Timmins. We went up to our little getaway there, you know, super secluded, did our shit, shot some guns, fucking hung out, drank a lot of beer. That was cool. But there was like, I don't know, not my whole family, but maybe 7 of us there, and we were like, my dad has like a satellite up there. We only get a couple channels, you know, because he's up there alone a lot of the time. And he was right. Watching. The one morning I woke up, mega hungover, and I was like, Dad, what the fuck? What are you watching? And he was like, oh, I'm watching Doug Ford speak. And this was like when it really first started to hit, right? Yeah. Like when restrictions actually started to actually mean something. When it was like, holy fuck, this is gonna affect like the common folk, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, and by that I mean the middle class. And he fucking, I looked at my dad and my mom, and I was like, you know what? I never really talk politics with you guys, but I think this guy's doing a good job. He's got a lot of weight in his shoulders, a lot of pressure. I actually said that, man. I actually said I think he's doing a good job. I never said Trudeau was, because Trudeau was a fucking cuck.
You know,
but I believed it.
I thought Ford was doing an all right job at the beginning as
so did
well.
I. It's great. A lot of pressure. A lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of money, like a lot of money that we don't see, we will never hear about, that was getting pumped in to that whole campaign and all that shit, like big box and all that stuff. Like, those guys get that money, man. They're puppets to corporations. If you don't know that, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, for sure. And why
or
else
if you
would
don't,
Amazon
not even if
be
you
able
know
to
that
operate right now?
Well, Amazon's different because, you know, but I'm talking like the Best Buys, the Costco's, the Walmarts, when like everything was like, oh, small business got to shut down. You can't buy a fucking leather jacket. They got to close, but you can go out and fucking, you can go to Best Buy and you can buy 4 TVs and 17 Xbox One X or Xbox Series X or whatever the fuck the new console is. I'm a console guy. I don't even know the fucking numbers anymore. I can't remember it.
I mean, well, technically, it's essential if you're locked up, right?
That was the whole thing, right? Like, people were like, "Well, what are you deeming essential? If my TV breaks and I'm fucking in my house," and this was in the beginning, that was the whole argument, right?
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, you can't shut that down, man. Like, if my TV breaks and you're gonna keep me in my house and you're gonna keep me from working." I'm gonna fucking murder my family if my TV's not working. I gotta watch hockey, man. Like, what are you gonna do? No, but honestly, right? Like, what are you gonna fucking do? So then he was really like, and then at one point he was like, I'm gonna come down on these stores like an 800-pound gorilla, and he didn't do that up until recently.
Yep.
And even up until recently, like, it was like half-assed measures, all this shit, but it was always like small business, fuck you. And neither of us are politicians, and neither of us will ever truly understand the pressure that guy feels, and I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. But this motherfucker was told, allegedly, that, and I say that with air quotes, that this whole thing, this whole third wave and the second wave and the fucking first wave, as a matter of fact, was going to hit super hard. He was given the options, and not even the options, like the foresight to be like, hey man, get ahead of this curve. Like, you know, do what is right to curve this whole thing, and he didn't. And like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and I understand that he was like, you know, he's in cahoots with. No, I shouldn't say he is. He might be. I mean, it is kind of funny that he owns like a sign company that definitely prints off vinyl signs for things like the LCBO and all those other things. Not confirmed.
All those floor
but
signs and shit.
yeah,
like that.
I mean, like, buddy, like his fucking business hasn't shut down, and you can find that. That's an actual thing.
Oh, he's making tons of money. Right
But
now.
when he said he was gonna come down on these big box stores like a fucking 800-pound gorilla, and then didn't up until like today, or last week, or whenever that last announcement was, I think it was like a week and a half ago, or whatever, on a Friday when he was like, oh, you know, big box stores, they got to rope off. Like, I don't think Best Buy would be open right now, right?
Technically, I mean, no, they're still open.
Why is Best Buy open? They don't sell groceries.
Why the fuck not?
Is it curbside?
No, they have like drinks and shit. Loophole.
No shit.
Yeah.
So recently, very, very recreationally and very seldomly, I will play airsoft, and I haven't played around when COVID hit. So last summer, I played a couple games. It's a lot of fun. Me and my buddy that I used to play in a band with, that I'm currently in, and he quit the band. We're still friends. We're chilling. And he was like, hey, bro, airsoft is still a thing. We're a golf course now, bro. And I was like, no shit.
What?
Yeah, they registered up as a golf course.
Holy
The field
shit.
that he goes to out in an undisclosed location.
Okay.
And yeah, I said that off the mic there.
Yeah.
And they're a golf course because they're close to a golf course, so they just conglomerated. Because I believe, don't quote me on this because you can't even, because I'm not going to say the field name, but the field name.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so you know that field,
Yeah.
right? They're close to a golf course, so I'm pretty sure the people that own that field, like technically, also own the golf course or driving range beside it. So maybe they expanded, air quotes.
Okay.
And they're a golf thing. So he messaged me last weekend, and he was like, "Hey man, you still want to come out and play a couple games?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, next weekend, let's do it." I mean, for two reasons, I couldn't do it tomorrow, because I have another job I have to attend to for the weekend, but also because now golf courses are closed.
Yeah.
So they gotta figure out something else, right? Like they gotta do another loophole.
They're
but it's
a church.
insane that
they
it's gotta be a church.
Yeah.
But it's insane that the golf courses are closed. Like, dude, golf courses? Are you fucking kidding me?
The most
I can understand
open
rentals.
air sport you could
Well,
fucking
and
play.
even in airsoft or paintball, I mean, you can have your views on, if you're a complete beta cuck, you can have your fucking views on combat sports, which would if you're going to use that term, which would encompass literally anything with violence in it. So you could pretty much include fucking hockey, but that's just my opinion. But fuck, now I'm just angry. So now you got me lost on my train of thought.
But aren't they cracking down on airsoft too?
Yeah, well, with that bill, I forget the fucking numerical name for it. It was something stupid like Bill C-21. No, Bill C-21 was that terrorist fucking bullshit back in the day. It's Bill like whatever. The recent gun ban. They were trying to ban.
Yeah.
They were trying to ban fucking replica firearms, and they were trying
banned
to.
a shitload of guns. And
Yeah, they
then
actually banned it.
airsoft
They actually did include a couple. So this goes to show you how little the RCMP, which is the governing body over what firearms to ban, through an elective process on it's basically like a elective like laboratory process on what they go through and they study these weapons and they figure out if you can and keep this in mind, like I'm an enthusiast. I haven't been able to get my license because of COVID, because they've shut all the classes down. But up until this point, I've been shooting a lot with my brother, which is completely legal. Done a lot of shooting. Really enjoy firearms. Really enjoy target shooting. Don't enjoy killing human beings at all. Never done it. Actually, I don't even know if I do enjoy it. I have no idea. That's a joke. But yeah, I was looking into getting my license, and I was looking into getting not AR-15 variants, but yeah, fuck it. I was looking into getting assault rifle variants because they are very comfortable to shoot, not for hunting, but for target shooting.
Right.
And that's not just straight up like your classic, like, you know, if you're some fucking idiot that thinks that they know shit about guns, which you could actually consider me as that. I think I know a little bit more than the average like douchebag that is like, oh, I don't fucking like guns because they kill people. Nah, man, they don't. Knives do too. We're not outlawing knives. You're a fucking moron. But there was a lot of these firearms that were in this list that Trudeau was like, these are assault weapons. Motherfucker didn't even name the guns used in Polytech at first. He had to go back and be like, "Oh yeah, we're also gonna ban the Ruger Mini 14." It's like, dude, are you kidding me? So anyway, he had the RCMP go through this entire list of guns that were ridiculous. Things like howitzers. Do you know what a howitzer is?
No.
It's fucking it's artillery. That was in the list. Like artillery, dude. Like shit that they would use to like lob fucking like massive shells, like explosive shells.
Yeah.
Like D-Day shit. Like that. Like no one has that kind of fucking stuff, dude. You're gonna include anti-aircraft rifles, and also
ex-military guys. They do.
No,
they do get some of that shit.
No, they don't. No,
they can though.
No, they can't. No, that's the straight up fact. No, you can't. Unless it's that would be completely illegal.
His brother was in the military and he had like grenade launchers and shit.
I honestly don't know if I believe you because my uncle served. I shouldn't say that. A person
you can get
that
them if you want.
a person that I know.
But
well, you can get anything that you want. You gotta be able to willing to pay the price. But I do full well know that a street value of a 9mm handgun runs you about $6,000, and that's a fucking baseline like shit handgun. So if you're gonna stack that handgun model, which I will not say, is roughly on the market Canadian standards like $900 to $1,200 baseline. It's not something fucking fancy, and that's not a Glock 19. That's not a Glock 45. It's not a Glock 32. It's nothing like that. It's a little bit different.
So.
But it's six. I know,
but
that's $6,000 for a handgun. No bullets. You don't even get a mag.
Yeah.
So you're a howitzer. Do you know how fucking big that is? That's something you have to tow around with a trailer. There's no mobility for that. I know someone.
Imagine
sort of. So I shouldn't say the U word, which I did say about a minute and a half ago, but. I know someone, maybe or maybe not, within my family that has served, and that motherfucker's not getting... You can't take shit home. You're not taking your service rifle home. You're not taking treats home. You're not taking trophy home. None of that stuff happens, man. If you want to get a fully automatic fucking rifle in Canada, you better be way up on the list of, like, the top security dudes that would use that kind of shit. Not to mention a howitzer. You wouldn't even want a fully automatic rifle. It's pointless. They don't even use, like, I mean, those capabilities do exist in the military, for sure. There's select fire and all that shit, but you wouldn't use that. It's wildly inaccurate. It's bullshit. I've shot fully automatic rifles. They're fucking stupid. And I'm not a big guy, albeit, for sure, but, like, it's just dumb. Like, it's the whole argument, like, when Justin Trudeau went up there and he was like, yeah, we're going to ban assault weapons. All of them. Motherfucker, we haven't had those since 1976, I think the date is. You can't have it. You have a gun that looks scary. Yeah, sure, man. You still only have 10 rounds in it. Like, it's not even. No, yeah, 10. And now I think they've decreased it to 5. But we still have crime. Yeah. We still have firearm crime.
Of course.
Because who in their right mind, unless you're going to do a suicide at the end of it, which still doesn't really happen in Canada... If you look at the States right now, I saw a fucking headline today that said the FedEx shooting in the States, which I feel terrible because people died and I don't know what city it's in, but there's so fucking many of them that honestly at this point I'm not surprised. Anyway, there was a shooting in the States, the FedEx fucking thing, whatever, I don't care if I sound bad. The article on CNN was like, this is the worst mass shooting since March 22nd. Of 2021. And honestly, I looked at that and I chuckled.
What happened on March 22nd?
I don't even know, man. Like, I can't keep track because they're just killing each other over there.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. It's insane. But you don't have that shit here. We can still get guns. And also, the crazy thing is, in Europe, you can have suppressors. You can have full-on ARs in Europe. It's fine. Oh, fuck yeah, buddy. Weird. I will show you posts from Europe Reddit gun threads. Because I'm a fucking gun nut.
Which part of Europe, though? Like, Latvia?
No. Like I know a lot of shit goes on in France with that kind of stuff. Like you can get suppressors in France like it's nobody's business. It doesn't cost you fucking $3,000. Here you have to battle to get a fucking muzzle brake. Not battle. You can still buy it in store. There's no tax stamp or whatever like they have in the States for suppressors. But you can't get this shit. People think that fucking having a silencer, they call it a silencer. Suppressor is a silencer. It's going to go pew, pew.
Yeah.
No, man. It's actually really fucking loud. I've shot one before. Yeah. It's very fucking loud, dude.
So it's not like Splinter Cell.
No. Fuck no. Oh, my God. They're so loud. But, I mean, arguably with an AR, if you're shooting a suppressor with an AR and you're shooting 5.56 or 2.23, which is your standard NATO infantry round, or that or 7.62, or what have you. Usually it's those two. That round is like pretty loud. It's around the same like decibel levels of 9mm, which is what the cops use. If you've ever shot a firearm, you know that guns are very fucking loud, but they're also like concussively loud and they hurt. So the argument that is going on with the gun groups in Canada is that suppressors shouldn't be illegal because it actually helps cut down on noise pollution from ranges. So you could have ranges that are like in the open, like there's one close, there's actually two close to where we're sitting right now, within 50 kilometers of where we are, one of which I've shot at, the other one I haven't had the opportunity to go to. Mm-hmm. That a suppressor there would be great because you have this entire thing of like Ontario continuing to develop housing throughout rural areas, and you have this innocent group of gun owners, like legal gun owners that don't do any harm. They're literally just there to target shoot, that are being really fucking loud.
Right.
You can hear gun retorts for kilometers if you're in the right area.
Right.
You know, maybe not kilometers, but at least a kilometer, several like 100 meters away. Sure. You know, if you're not driving, you're just standing there. Like you've heard people out where we grew up, like shooting shotguns. For sure, you have. Mm-hmm. You've heard the pops or the cherry bomb pops from when they like control the grapevines with the birds. You know what I'm talking about?
Don't know about that.
You never heard that before?
I don't think so. No.
Oh man, they have like blank like shotgun shells. I'm pretty sure they are, and they'll set them off on timers.
Just fuck with the birds.
Yeah. Well, it'll blast like it doesn't actually harm the birds, but it'll just big noise, right?
Yeah.
But suppressors, like you wouldn't be able to hear that. But if you're standing close to a suppressor without ear pro on, you're fucked. Like it's still fucking loud. You can shoot behind it and you're okay, but you should still wear ear pro. It's so fucking loud. It only cuts it down, like I think it's like 15 to 20 decibels.
Damn, man.
Imagine you putting your ear right next to my snare drum without me having a blanket on it. Like right next to it. Yeah, not fun. But then I put a blanket on it and you're like, this still isn't fun, but it's less loud.
Yeah.
It's still not like John Wick, like pew, 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 pew. You know that? Have you seen that? John Wick 2 or 3? I forget. Have you seen those?
That fucking sound.
Oh, yeah. Have you? Oh, no, it's not like that at all, man. It's still a pop. Yeah, it's still a pop. It's just a little bit suppressed. It's not silenced. Dude, if it was silenced, there'd be so many more murders. It'd be fucking awesome.
If it just, like, had, like, a weird little noise. Yeah.
I mean, you can almost achieve that with subsonic rounds if you're shooting, like, 9mm. For sure. They have 9mm subsonic rounds, and I think they have 45.
You ever see those old school elephant guns?
Oh, yeah.
Those things are sick. They're just like they're a fucking trumpet, basically.
Yeah, the muzzle loaders.
Yeah, like a built-in.
You can still buy those.
Like a built-in loudener.
Yeah, people. Well, it's to
it must have been so fucking loud though.
I mean, you can still buy those at Bass Pro. They come in a cardboard box. Yeah, muzzle loader is like I wouldn't say a popular way to hunt, but guys still hunt with those.
Holy shit.
It's a traditional way of like loading and packing your own powder into a shell and all this stuff. Yeah, muzzle loaders are still pretty popular, yeah.
Crazy inaccurate though.
I mean, with modern technology, you can get like the exact grain amount into the actual bullet that you need to fire it, so it's a little bit more accurate. Mm-hmm. It's not like the War of 1812 where you're packing a musket, but essentially that's what it is. Like you still have to pack the powder down like the end of the barrel and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I'm 80% sure on that. I've never shot one before. I have no fucking clue, but I have seen them before. Yeah, I've seen them on the range. Last time we were there, a guy had a muzzle loader, but we never saw him shoot it. Sorry.
Fuck, crazy.
Last time I was on the range was before the first COVID restriction. There was a guy there with an AK.
Huh. Yeah.
I've shot an AK here legally, like
Yeah.
on the range. He had a restricted clip, but it's an AK-47. And the funniest thing is with these restricted clips is it's just a pin. All you need is like someone that knows how to operate basically a drill press or a drill, who's like handy enough, and they just like mill the clip out, and then there you go. You get 30 rounds instead of 5.
Ah.
It's fucking hilarious.
So it's not even a smaller clip. It's
No,
just like,
no. I know a guy that has a TAR 21, Call of Duty. It's the Israeli. It's what they issue for the Israelis. That's like their M16 or the Canadian C7. Like that's what their enlisted get. It's a Tavor 21. Yeah, you've seen it on Call of Duty, guaranteed. And he actually found a legal loophole, sort of, where there's I think we've talked about this before on this, but there's if you buy a certain caliber magazine called 50 caliber Beowulf, it actually does fit 5.56 or 5.56 or 223 into it. But since the Beowulf 50 cal bullets are so fucking big, it'll fit 30 5.56 or 30 223 in it. It's still legal, man. It doesn't say. The laws don't say. Well, they didn't at the time. I don't know what the fuck they do now, since they've outlawed airsoft guns for a certain aspect or certain aspects of airsoft guns. But
did they also outlaw paintball? Is that part of it
it's
too,
it's a vague area because it did say something about combat simulation training or something. Not exactly in those words, but they were going after. Yeah, they were going after that, right?
Yeah.
Which I thought was really strange because this has been, airsoft and paintball have been happening for. I mean, paintball, man. My dad played paintball like in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
Airsoft I think it was 91 or 92 in Japan, I believe. And yeah, dude, like I have an airsoft gun that looks just as real as a patrol rifle that a cop would have, if not more real. Like if you didn't know that I had it and I gave it to you and I fucking, it's got all real action. Mm-hmm. It's got everything's real on it.
The weight is right.
Yeah, the weight is absolutely right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. Like you'd have no idea. Like it's the exact same thing.
Hold. Feels like a
it's
gun
the
for
it's
sure.
the only weight difference is that there's not a full magazine of lead in it. It's the only weight difference, and that weight difference, if you've never held a firearm with bullets in it, then you would kind of notice it. But I mean, yeah, you wouldn't notice it, and I think that it's very funny that they're afraid of that. It's a sport. Like I'm not gonna defend it. I'm not diehard about it. I like playing it. I like it more than paintball. I like the competition aspect of it. I think it's a lot of fun. Some people take it too seriously, whatever. But there's a team aspect of it, and this might sound insane, but I do think that some of the stuff that you learn, and I'm not going to get into specifics, but I think you catch my drift, is kind of important based on where we are going as a society. Maybe it is important to...
And the government knows that. I mean, why would you outlaw basically harmless sport like that if you weren't concerned that people would start to use it to learn particular skills in order to take down the government?
I mean, you wouldn't be able to ever take down the government with shitty room clearing skills that you would see in an airsoft match. Some of these guys do train and I know firsthand are trained by guys that have served. But these are dudes that are getting shot by plastic BBs. There's a lot and a lot of these guys have never. And I've never been in combat, man. Like, I have no fucking clue what it's like to get shot at. I've shot a lot of guns. I have no fucking clue what it's like to be on the receiving end. These guys aren't trained for that. They're not even really training. They're just practicing like you would for a football match to, clear out like the other opposing team's side,
Right.
right? To put
Yeah.
it in non-tactical terms, like that's all they're trying to do. But
you can see how those skills would be applicable to.
yeah, but that's
you
the
know.
same thing. Like at that point, you might as well.
I mean, what
Completely
do you think military
outlaw,
training
like,
is?
Yeah, but at that point, you
They're
might
not
as well.
shooting live rounds at each other.
In military,
No.
in some, not in Canada,
Yeah.
but in some countries they are. Have you seen the Brazilian and Russian special forces training videos? They're fucking crazy, dude. Oh, dude, there's one. I think it's Russia. They have a dude because they use AKs or AK variants in Russia, and they'll stand like from me to you away. We're about 4 or 5 feet away from each other, maybe 4 feet away, and they'll stand and there'll be paper targets that another guy behind him will put up, and they'll shoot around his head.
Tuh.
Live rounds. It's crazy.
Fucked up.
Oh yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
They do that in Mexico. They do that in Brazil. Because these guys are like constantly at combat. They need to like that's what their thing is. Like they constantly need to know like these guys are gonna go in there and get shot at immediately. We need to know that we're putting in hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever into their training. They can fucking take it, and they're not gonna just shit themselves and go out of it, right?
Sure, yeah.
That's on like the extreme end of things. You're not going to see that in like the infantry for these countries, not at all. They just give them rifles and say fuck off. Yeah, can you run a marathon? All right, cool, go.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Yeah, I don't really fully understand why they're trying to put a ban on all that thing. It's kind of fucked up. But I mean I kind of get it. It doesn't look good for the public when you have all these shootings and stuff happening, but to getting back to it, like what Trudeau did with that whole gun ban thing, and like when he was talking about the red flag laws, and like being able to, and I will admit that I haven't looked fully into it because it's kind of fucked up. I haven't looked like a full amount into it, but he has talked about the red flag laws and being able to, like police being able to.
What exactly is the red flag?
Well, police
laws?
being able
What
to identify like something that could turn dangerous if that's a gun owner, and being able to take their firearms,
okay.
which could be interpreted to literally anything you would want. Like that's in essence setting up for a mass seize if you wanted it to. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying.
Wasn't that always kind of
No.
the thing
No.
with our gun laws, though?
No. I don't believe it was.
No.
You couldn't, like, if you were. So, say I was a gun owner and I got into the.
But I thought they could take your guns if because the government has to do like checks on you somehow or something, right?
No.
I must have been reading that wrong.
As far as I know, they don't. Like
but I assume
my
that they
entire
had to,
family
like,
is.
assess your mental health or whatever.
That's at the
fuck, and
beginning.
they could,
That's
like,
at the
take your gun
beginning.
away
That's at the beginning.
Yeah.
They'll do a reference checks like through a doctor and through references. But as far as I know, like once you get that, and that's it. I could be wrong. Like my brothers are pretty new into their firearms licenses, but my dad's had his firearms license since he was a kid, and he's never had to do any of that. They're not going to do mental checkups on you every fucking 2 years. Like that's not how. You do a weekend course and then you get it. Like that's it. They just trust that you're. I mean, there's little background checks here and there. You give them references, and they can call your doctor if they need to. If there's any psychological shit that they need to know about, then yeah, they'll do that. I know that they'll do that, but I can't 100% speak to the fact that they won't check up on you like on an annually or a semi-annual basis. But I'm pretty sure that that's not true. But that is coming true now. So if I would have gotten into the altercation that I got into, or almost got into tonight with that shitty neighbor that I was telling you about, and I owned a firearms, I had a PALS and I had firearms registered to my address and in my house. The police, if there was a violent altercation, then they could have showed up and under these new laws been like, all right, they would have pulled up my name and whatever and been like, you're a gun owner. And if it would have went down, where like I assaulted that guy with no holds, like no aggravation, I just fucking let loose on this dude, then maybe with under his new laws, if they do pass, I don't think they passed yet, because there's petitions about it, then they would have been able to be like, hey man, like we're gonna take your fucking guns because you're a risk. but that's an issue. But all the gun violence that is happening in Canada and has been happening for quite a while, aside from a few of the tragedies that have happened, and not including Nova Scotia, that's an entire other thing, haven't been by legal guys except for Polytech. I'm pretty sure I do know that Polytech guy he did have a PALS, but that was also in the 80s or the late or early 90s. I forget the actual date, but that was like way before. It was different, and that was like a one-off. That guy was a piece of shit. But all the stuff that you see, like all the gun violence you see in Toronto and the Vancouver and all like the bigger population centers in Canada, that's all gang violence, man. Yeah. Even the Nova Scotia shooting, I don't want to talk about it much because it was really sad. But all those guns were
it's
like the RCMP. Guns. Yeah, the RCMP knew those were illegal guns. And then the thing that made me sick is that Trudeau didn't acknowledge that, and he used that as an example. And that's fucked up because that's not a representation of legal gun owners in Canada, which I still am not. I can't get in to write my license because of fucking COVID because we're all backed up. And we don't even really know. Like, everyone's trying to get their shit now. When COVID first hit, my brother was trying to buy shotgun shells just to go fucking duck hunting. And he couldn't. There was none. He couldn't even. He was actually looking for shopping out for a new shotgun at local gun establishments in the most southern region that you can get in Ontario before you hit the Buffalo border there, and couldn't find one. Everyone's uncle and dad or mom and whatever was fucking buying shotguns that had written their pals already, but hadn't actually bought a firearm.
Yep.
Shelves were empty. He was like, "This is fucking nuts."
Damn.
Yeah.
Stocking up.
Oh yeah. And he knows these guys at these gun shops. He's like a full-on enthusiast. Enthusiast. Yeah. Sounds weird. And he was like, "Man, I can't find shit." Actually, we went up to the cottage after COVID hit. We were gonna go shoot rifle long range. Man, he like only had a couple like boxes. I gave him like maybe $150 to buy rounds, like bullets or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And he was like, "Man, I could only come up with this." We had a lot of 22 because it's super cheap and mass produced. But the shit we were shooting like 308 and 22 250, couldn't find any of it because it was all sold out. Popular rounds,
fucking crazy,
just gone. And 308, like you don't like 308's that's a funny round to like buy up. It's not a fucking defense round. That's a long range like hunting or long range shooting round. You don't need that. But people were buying it because they had a rifle. They had the farm rifle. They were stocking up on it. It was crazy. Yeah, the guys at the gun shops were like, "What the fuck, man?" They were loving it, obviously.
Yeah, they're making money.
These are all like, man, you should see there's a massive ammo shortage in the States. Which
it's been crazy.
It's actually come under fire recently because people have done math on how many rounds are actually produced in the States for military, and then what is subsectioned off to civilian use, and it's in like the tens of millions of rounds. But they've done the math on like what is actually being bought, and it doesn't even match up. Did you actually know that the Parks Commission in the States was buying silencers? Or fuck, I got roped into saying that because that's how the video went that I watched. They were buying suppressed Glocks. The Parks Commissions in the States, like the national parks in the States, were buying out suppressed Glocks. Why do you need a suppressed Glock? Yeah, I'll send you the videos of these guys talking about it. Obviously,
what would they possibly be using it for?
Well, it was the guy that was talking about it was saying that like there was a bunch of them. The Postal Service was buying like millions of rounds of ammunition.
Okay.
Well, the Postal Service does actually have an armed service within them in the United States, like a security guard service, which apparently didn't do fuck all the other night, which I shouldn't say, but whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of very armed. Well, because they'll transport like important documents, so they'll have their own security service.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But those guys aren't pipe hitters, man. They're not kicking down doors. They're not pipe hitters. They're not doing that. But they're buying like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rounds. It was in the budget. Like it's public information. You can
Yeah.
access all this information even from
Yeah.
Canada. You can access it all. Oh yeah, the national parks in the States were buying like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rounds. They were buying like thousands of suppressed Glocks, which like if you buy a suppressed Glock, it's funny because it's not a suppressed Glock and like that's just one piece. Like you can take the suppressor off. Like it's just really weird. So I don't know if I fully believe like everything that was being said in these videos. I've watched a couple of them, but they are very interesting because it was these guys were breaking down all of these agencies that were. You could look at it as if they were gearing up for something. And if you look at what Biden's trying to do, like Biden's trying to outlaw like certain like magazine capacities in the States, certain weapons in the States, like all this shit.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, man, but still like these guys that are doing these shootings are like, how about you have better background checks, sorry.
Yeah.
You don't have this shit happening in France when you can buy a full-on AR-15. You can buy a full-on Bushmaster there. You can buy a full-on M4. Any platform you want, you can get in France. Like you might have to have certain. I don't know their actual laws, but I've seen a lot of fucking posts on Reddit of dudes like in these European countries being like, "Haha, fuck you. We have this. No tax stamp, motherfucker," and like all this funny stuff. And like guys in Canada are like, "Man, like I can't even like properly target shoot with 5 rounds. How am I supposed to actually practice my shit?"
Yeah.
Not even gearing up for anything. It's just like it's really fun to do that. To be able to get good at something, to be able to send something supersonic down a range that could be, close to a kilometer away in succession, or not a kilometer, but half a kilometer away in succession through a scope is a really good feeling. It's not about just fucking killing people. It's not about that at all.
Yeah,
it's
like
ridiculous.
even when we were hanging out and just shooting pelicans, like
just a lot of fun.
Just shooting cannons.
The one pellet gun that you the one pellet gun that you shot was essentially rated a firearm. It shot at 1,200 feet a second. Anything over 495 in Canada is considered a firearm.
Yeah.
That was 1,200. You could kill somebody with that, no problem. 1,200 feet a second. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, they hunt boar and stuff with pellet guns around that.
Way.
Well, maybe not boar with 1,200 feet, but you shoot like a raccoon in the head or even in the body with 1,200 feet a second, it'll fragment. Those little pellets, yeah, man. It's strictly for varmint control. You could seriously hurt a human being or kill a human being with something going that fast.
Damn.
1,200 feet a second with I know it's a tiny projectile, but that tiny point of impact on like we've shot through the metal, like what we were shooting at was the metal signs on the end of my street.
Yep.
Like there's pellet holes in all of those. Mm-hmm. There's not bullet holes because we may or may not shoot 22 out the back, but it's essentially around the same velocity as that. It's just a smaller projectile.
Goddamn.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, it was fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just target shooting, man. Like
it was
just
good pastime.
That's all it is.
The way I feel about like gun sports like that, like it's almost like golfing. Like,
so here's the funny thing about
you go to a fucking driving range to just hit a ball.
Yeah.
Basically at a
People
target.
have died from golf balls.
Right.
You're not going to do a golf ball assault, but
yeah,
the funny thing I find about
it's the same thing. It's just a fucking pastime,
Well, the funny thing I found about the airsoft and paintball potential ban on those kind of air quotes of the combat sports, if you want to call them that, or whatever the fuck is going on. I don't fully know it because I think it's ridiculous, and I just signed the petition and I was like, this is crazy. But I haven't heard anything about 2-gun or 3-gun competitions in Canada, which I know is a thing, which would mean the pistol shotgun rifle or pistol shotgun or pistol rifle competitions, which means you would run a course. Like one guy runs a course to compete on time and like shoot targets. You could argue that's more assault training than anything else. Way more than airsoft, man.
Yeah.
You've seen those competitions, right? Like Terran Tactical in the States trains guys like Keanu Reeves and all those things. You've seen those. I've sent you those videos before.
I've seen that.
Keanu Reeves is a good fucking shooter, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, he has to be.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he doesn't,
but
movies? Yeah. Those guys go through that whole thing, but that's essentially what 2 or 3 gun competitions would be here. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if they've put a ban or looked into maybe suppressing, no pun intended, based on what we were talking about before, into doing that whole thing and like kind of trying to put the pillow over that, but I haven't heard anything about it. That was never in the conversations that I saw on the internet about anything like that. And that's like, you're shooting fucking firearms, man. Like you're learning how to maneuver around corners. You're not doing CQB shit, but you're like learning how to maneuver a firearm around corners, shoot a target, like acquire targets quickly. Like that's scary. You could use that real world. If you wanted to be a douchebag, you could do that. But you could also, with the video games that I play that are not Call of Duty and are way more in depth, things like Ground Branch and well, essentially just Ground Branch. Like that shit teaches you actually how to clear a room.
Huh.
And it's fucking weird because it's you could take that into the real world and then just, learn how to actually you would learn what funnels are, and you would learn what pieing a corner means, and you would learn what all these things mean without ever actually stepping foot on a range, which you can't do that kind of shit in a range. Ranges are, like firearms ranges, at least in Ontario, are extremely, extremely strict. Extremely strict. Mm-hmm. I've seen 2 people get kicked off of the range. It's fucking crazy. You have to be an idiot to do it, but they don't. There's no exceptions, man. Like it's fucking dangerous. Like the first time, if you like, hopefully I am there and I'm with you when you shoot a shotgun for the first time. You'll be fucking terrified. You'll be like,
I'm
fuck,
sure,
dude.
I'm
I
sure
have
I
a
will.
respect for this. Like it's some
a lot of
serious
power.
shit. Oh man, it's unprecedented. You've never ever held something in your hand like that. This is the first time you shoot it. I guarantee you, the first time you shoot a gun, because you never shot a firearm, right?
No.
The first time you do it, and I hope it's a fucking shotgun loaded with turkey shot. The first time you do it, you'll be like, I have the most power in my hands right now, and I'm terrified. It is the loudest noise that you'll ever hear. It is, I hope, that you'll ever hear. It is fucking terrifying, man. Because you just realize that at that point in time, you have this thing in your hands that can change your whole life, one way or the other. One wrong move, and fuck.
Yeah, and then you're fucked.
Yeah. I think it is the respect that you earn for that. I won't call it a tool. A lot of people call it a tool. It's a tool if you want to use it as a tool. I would call it a fucking a boomstick, man. Like that's what it is. When people call guns tools, I'm like, yeah, you use tools for intent. There's an intent to use a tool, right? If you're a fucking pipe hitter and you're kicking doors down, then yeah, that's your tool, But if you're just target shooting, then yeah, that's your toy. But either way, there's a lot of respect with that. Like, and it's fucking scary, man. It's weird. The first time I remember, I'll never forget the first time I shot a shotgun. It was fucking scary shit. It was the first gun I ever shot off my parents' back deck. So my dad's dad died, my grandfather, and we did a salute to him because my brothers were really close to him. I really wasn't, but he liked shotguns, so we all shot off 3 shots. And fuck, dude, the first shot I shot off, I was like, holy fuck. Oh, it kicks the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Destroys your shoulder. You're not used to it. You have no idea. And it just, like, I had ear pro on, like, really nice ear protection, and it fucked me up. So loud. It's crazy.
Goddamn.
It's fun now when you get used to it, but, well, imagine sitting down on my drums the first time, and you were able to hit my snare drum like I can hit my snare drum. You know when you start playing drums?
Yeah.
And you're tapping everything? Imagine the first swing on that snare drum was a full-on, full-velocity rim shot.
Yeah.
You'd be like, holy fuck. I don't want to do this anymore. No earplugs. Like, you'd be like, holy fuck. Well, that's what I mean, but it would surprise you.
Yeah.
But there's no life or death with the snare drum, right? It's very loud. It's very, very loud. But it's not sharp.
That might be different though, because like,
no,
at
obviously,
least, like,
but it's
drum
the
is like very exhilarating.
Yeah, but fuck, a gun is very exhilarating. But there's no sharpness to a shotgun or really anything, but it's just the concussive force. Like it shakes you, man. It's fucking weird. I remember the first time I spotted for my brother when we were doing long range. I was through a spotting scope beside him, and I had just like shitty ear pro on, and I was too close to him, and it actually burned. It didn't visibly burn the side of my face, but I felt it, like the muzzle brake out the end, and it fucking shook me, and it shook my ear canals, And I've been around loud shit for 15 years. And I was like, I can't, man. And he's like, what? Because he had like the good ear probe that I have now for shooting. And I was like, I can't be here. I gotta be behind your shoulder. And we kind of figured, this is like us figuring out basically how they work. He had really no idea. We were just kind of like, I wasn't like fucking right next to the barrel. I was like 2 or 3 feet away. But dude, I felt powder hit my face. Like everything. There's like a thing that comes, like there's stuff that comes out of the end of that barrel. It's not a clean fucking break. Oh, it's fucked up. That was a rifle. Like a hunting rifle in essence. But yeah, it's fucked. Anyway, aliens. Guns are sick, and anyone that fucking
can we,
goes
like,
against
shoot guns?
fucking... Yeah, we will.
Can we turn the jam space into a gun range?
We did at one point in the hallway. We had a bunch of CO2 BB guns, and then Luke came up here, and he was like super pissed off about it. He actually had a note in the hallway at one point.
What the fuck was that?
It was when I was in Valcultra.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a note. Just got a really funny text message from one of my friends at work. It's a picture of Doug Ford that says "Duog fraud."
Duog fraud.
Yeah, fuck you, Dougie.
No,
I was rooting for you at the beginning, man.
Yeah, I think Doug Ford F-150 is probably the better nickname.
Yeah, that's Mike's whole thing, man. He's in my phone as Doug Ford F-150.
That's so funny.
Yeah, my manager at work, once she saw my phone, she's like, Doug Ford F-150? That's fucking great. I was like,
Do you think he drives a Ford?
No, this guy drives a fucking Prius, man.
No way. That guy is not fitting into a Prius.
Yeah, you got a point. He probably drives a Ford.
He drives an F-150.
Have you seen it? Have you seen his Instagram handle, man? Ford Nation, fuck you, or whatever
like
the fuck it is.
Doug Ford, Ford Nation.
Yeah, Doug Ford, Ford Nation, Doug. What a cuck, man. Fucking the Prince of Dicks.
The comment sections are my favorite.
Oh, they're insane.
Out of fucking control.
Oh, they're insane.
The amount of comments recently about his haircut, spectacular.
I didn't see any of those. I should look at those because they're probably great. Guys are fucking.
Yeah, he's a knob. But I mean, still, I want to give all of these people the benefit of the doubt. Like, I think if anybody was in this situation,
you'd falter.
They'd all fuck up.
You'd falter. There's always going to be mistakes.
Yeah.
You have like,
they'd
dude,
all fuck up.
Imagine being the student council president, and everyone, it's like the biggest role in your life that far. You're the student council president. And you're like, oh fuck, are we going to do prom here or here? Like, where are we going to do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not really up to you because ultimately the teachers decide. But it's like it's a perfect analogy for that. Like, you just freak the fuck out, and everyone's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do, man?" Like, it's a pressure. But quantify that by like big box stores and money and fucking investors that we don't even fucking know about and party shit. And then you listen to the radio now when there's that commercial that says Doug Ford says the schools are safe. They're not. Blah 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 blah. Andrea Horwath. Did you hear him screaming it?
No,
oh
I
man,
haven't listened to
should,
radio in a while.
You should, because it's fucking insane. Oh my god, it's insane. It's just constant. Like, Doug Ford says schools aren't safe. They are safe because children, heartstrings, obviously.
Yep.
And then on the opposing side, it's just like, everyone should get a vaccine. Vaccines are safe. They are good. Get one. And I'm just like, man, I don't really know what the fuck is going on anymore.
Yeah.
I know people that are close to me aren't having a good time after the vaccines. I don't know what to do. I'm freaked the fuck out. I don't know what's going on. This is terrifying.
Because it's all politics, right? So you're never gonna actually get real.
Dude, he went on. He didn't go on at 2. He didn't go on at 2:30 today because Ellen. Fuck. What was it? It was Ellen, Dr. Oz, and another show was airing. So he wanted to make sure that he was able to be sane. What? Buddy, if you're not listening to the shit that's going on in your fucking province, then you're an idiot, and you don't deserve to know. If you are more concerned with what Ellen has to say than what is directly affecting your life on a day-to-day basis, fuck you. You are 90% a part of the problem. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing? Fuck those people. Like, I understand why he did that, or why his handlers or whatever, or why the fucking whatever happens was like, hey man, maybe not a good move. Like, we gotta wait till everyone to move it.
Team is probably
which I get, but also like, fuck those people, man. Oh, dude, even if you're still watching Ellen, fuck off.
Yeah, if you're still watching Ellen at this point, there's something seriously fucking wrong with you.
Just, like, have a brain, man. There's really important shit happening, and you're going to fucking sit there and watch Ellen when you know that the fucking premier of the province is like, hey, man, we got some important shit. You're not going to be able to do it anymore. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And that's the reasoning behind delaying it? Like, fuck, man. And I made a bet on when he would come on. And I lost that bet, so now I owe 2 people coffee all next week. So, Doug Ford, you owe me, like, fucking $25.
Yeah, I think what's going on right now is really fucked up. Like, yeah, that whole press conference was just insane. And also just having military checkpoints at the borders of the provinces. That's crazy.
Did he say military?
Yeah.
That's the military. I'm gonna check you. Where you going? I'm going to my home. But you're not gonna call.
You can't just go there for no reason. Like, I guess if you're driving a transport truck.
Well,
that's it. But
yeah.
Like.
But here's my thing.
So weird, right?
That should have been done under the RCMP. That should have been a federal thing under the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and that should have been that way. They should have deployed those guys from the fucking beginning and been like, why are you traveling? I'm going to my cottage. I have to check out my shit. Are you bringing 15 other people there? No. Like, for my dad's, well, you know, my parents' cottage isn't out of the province, but it's on the borderline. But literally one road goes to Quebec, the other one goes to fucking where my dad essentially lives. And he was worried about that. That's where he gets his cheap beers in Quebec. He hasn't been there since. Actually, no, he gets guys to, like, do it. He knows truckers. Truckers are doing it now.
Yeah.
Truckers are loading their shit up with fucking 60 cubes. Like the 60-pack cubes and selling it. Motherfucker knows, man. But the thing is, it's like, why didn't you do that from the beginning, you fucking idiot? Why didn't you do that?
But how
if you do the hard shit from the beginning,
but how would that help, though?
But it doesn't matter.
Interprovincial, like, that wouldn't help a goddamn thing.
No, and it would help a goddamn thing. So here's and obviously we can't speak truly to this because we don't fucking know, right? We have no idea. We have no idea what's going on. Like, in his world, we have no clue. We're just fucking negligent idiots. But we can still have an opinion. And my opinion is, as soon as a variant pops up, or as soon as shit starts to skyrocket in one of the places in Ontario, restrict that shit. You can't leave. That's it. You're fucking quarantined. All of you. In different regions. Hey, man, you got the B1 in Hamilton? Don't leave. We're going to start setting up. I would be okay with that.
But that was the point of the quarantines.
Yeah, but they weren't enforced, which is ridiculous. And then he blames people our age, and, like, I'm almost 30, man, and he's like, oh, these young people are like, oh, fucking going out doing shit. It's like, buddy, you opened up the bars. You opened up patios. I went.
Yeah, me
Fuck
too.
yeah, I went.
Of course.
I'm gonna support local. And he was always like, yeah, support local business. Do it.
Yeah.
Fuck you. But if you're gonna restrict shit, do it on a federal level. Restrict provinces and be like, all right, they got B1 in Ontario. Shut Ontario down. No one goes in and no one goes out. I would be fine with that. RCMP is there. That's cool. You bring the military in. Not cool. Those dudes like. And the other thing that people
we'll see if it actually does anything. What they're trying to do now.
What they announced today won't do anything. What they announced today will just put more people out of jobs. They didn't fucking announce anything important. It was just more people out of jobs. I don't even know if I have. I don't even know if I have a job to go back to on Monday, man. I found out Sunday.
Yeah, because this is not going to work.
And I don't want to be on CERB. CERB is bullshit. CRB is fucking bullshit. I pay into EI. I've been doing it since I was 16. I took a month off last April.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say my name or my social insurance number.
But why would you, man?
But I'm not going to pay that back. Because when I took that fucking benefit, I thought I was getting EI. I thought it was my own fucking money that I paid into. And then all of a sudden I have to pay it back?
It's all your own money.
No, sir, CRB you have to pay back, dude.
But it's still tax
Well,
money.
I understand that,
It's
but
still
I have
your
to.
money.
But I don't have to pay EI back. If I go on EI, it's all good. You know,
Right.
I'm not paying that shit back. But all of a sudden, you couldn't go on EI. So all these
'Cause
motherfuckers
they
that are
switched
getting
it to CERB.
that's bullshit. That's criminal. That should be considered criminal. That's bullshit.
I don't know who has to pay it back. Some people have to. I didn't have to, but like
that's probably because maybe you rigged your taxes, but
I did, but yeah, but like some people,
as you should either rig your taxes or not fucking do them. There's one or the other.
Paying the tax on it is different than actually paying it back.
But even what I meant.
Some people had to pay 30% of it back.
It's based on your income.
Not including
apparently,
the taxation.
Apparently, it was based on your income. So if you made
Okay.
$100K a year and you got laid off, which like if you make $100K a year, it's crazy that you got laid off. But that's what I've heard. But it's been so vague.
Yeah.
Like I know a guy, his girlfriend's been on it for fucking since this whole thing started. She hasn't done taxes yet. I haven't done my taxes in undisclosed amount of time. Probably
Yeah.
not going to do them. Fuck you. Come for me.
Yeah, fuck taxes, man.
Fuck it.
Taxation
What are you
is
going to
theft,
do? It's insane. But you're going to tell me that I have to pay back the $400 from the $2,000 that I took? Not even took, was given to me because I couldn't take EI, which was absolutely legally and as far as I'm concerned, what we are like that's my right is my unemployment insurance or whatever the fuck employment insurance. I pay into that, man. I've been paying in thousands and thousands of dollars every year since I was fucking 16 years old when I started working, and I can't get that money. Because you're going to tell me and I'm going to take this $2,000 and then I have to pay it back. When I took that $2,000 for that month, I didn't know I had to pay it back. That's why I went back to work. If I didn't have to pay it back, I'd be fucking chilling. I don't want to get COVID. I got to work, man. I'm still kind of fucking freaked out about it, but I do know that there's some fucking weird shit going on. But I don't know if I have a job on Sunday. Like on Monday,
I don't think you would have to pay it back though.
No, that's legitimate what's happening, Brody.
Did they actually ask you?
No, it's like when you do your taxes, like there's a thing that comes in and you're like, oh, this is what you owe for like the CERB. Yeah, it's a legitimate thing.
Did you check CRA about it? Because CRA will
Did
tell
I?
you. Yeah.
Fuck no. Have I been on CRA? Fuck no. Am I going to go on CRA? Fuck no.
They tell you if you have to pay it back or not.
A lot of people have to pay it back, man. This is a legitimate thing that's happening.
I know.
Another hilarious thing.
But if you never checked it, you wouldn't know that.
No, I personally don't know because I'm like full willing just not to check. I don't fucking care. I think it's bullshit. The whole fucking thing is bullshit. Whatever. I'll do them one day. Fuck it all. Call me stupid. I don't give a shit. But what's funny is that now you fucking got me out, lost on my train of thought. Oh yeah. So what's funny is that Trudeau said literally, if you received the CERB benefit in a mistake, because there was a lot of cases of like 16 to 18-year-olds or whatever age group receiving this benefit randomly. Dude, imagine how sick that would be if you're like 18. You were like, holy fuck, I just got $2,000. This is sick.
Yeah.
They don't have to pay it back.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, if you filed it incorrectly.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You don't have to pay it back.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
It's so stupid.
But you're going to tell me I can't work. You're going to tell me my job is not essential, which never happened to me. I just chose the layoff. Like my workplace was like, if you aren't comfortable with working when this whole thing hit, it's all good.
Yeah.
Nope, literally didn't harm them at all. You know, they just didn't have to pay another person, whatever. But those people that got it inadvertently were just like, yeah, whatever. Sick. I got $2,000. There's a fucking Honda Civic from 2002. Sweet. You just bought me a car, Trudeau. Thank you. Oh, I don't have to pay this back now? Fuck yeah. That's bullshit, man. But then you have, like, I can't imagine what it would be like being, like, a single parent or, like, two parents that, like, have to raise their
somebody
kids.
That actually
yeah, man. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that would be so different. Yeah.
It's just,
Like I was pissed when I lost my job and I had to go on it. But like if I had a fucking family and kids, how are you gonna do that with $2,000?
dude, all we have to do is pay rent and some bills or whatever fucking in debt to the mafia you are. Because I know I'm pretty deep. And then we got to pay our fucking space rent. Like, that's it. That's all we got to do.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to us. But, like, the guy that's got, like, fucking 2 kids, or the girl that's got 2 kids, or the whatever that's got 2 kids, and just all of a sudden just like, fuck, man, like, you tell me I got to pay this shit back now, and if I don't pay it back, then what?
Yeah, I mean,
like, what's the repercussion?
Did you know that you or something? Like, what
no, fuck no.
Like,
they can't.
Did you know that? Did
you know that the city of Toronto, I'm pretty sure, has like $800,000 in unpaid fines from COVID.
Well, of course, yeah.
From like all the COVID bullshit that was going on,
the tickets and shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
And apparently they're able to do that now again.
Hey, if I got a ticket, like I wouldn't pay it.
I wouldn't fucking pay it, man.
It's an unlawful ticket. Why not?
I would argue the shit out of a bylaw or cop. I don't even fucking care if you're a cop. If you're going to tell me that I can't walk from my house to here to be alone, I'm going to argue until you put me in jail. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Exactly.
If it's different if I'm in a group of people and no one's wearing the mask or whatever, and we're doing like something that's outright like a fucking spreader event or something. Yeah, all right. Maybe you deserve it if this whole thing is real. But if I'm walking alone and it's like, where are you going? Hey, man, I actually don't have to tell you where I'm going. And the thing that bothers me is that, like, he is putting, in Ontario, Ford, is putting a lot of very good men and women, or whatever you identify yourself as, police officers into and bylaw officers into very precarious situations, because now they it's not like these guys are drones, and I use the term guys loosely. It's not like they're drones, man. Like they're like you're just gonna
confused.
Yeah, and they're also just as like, hey, yeah, maybe this isn't fair. Like, I don't want to go up to this person and be like, hey, man, where are you going? Like, fuck that. That's bullshit.
Yeah, they're still normal people.
They still got to go home at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, their family members or whatever are still doing exactly what you and I are doing.
Yeah.
To an extent, you know?
They
like,
still have to
right
do groceries and shit and like wait in line.
Well, there was
like,
talks
it's still
about
piss off for them too.
There was talks about doing today. I was listening to News Talk 1010, which is obviously biased. But they were still, and many other radio stations, because we were kind of flipping through, we're talking about doing a 5-kilometer travel restriction from your home. That's insane.
5-kilometer.
That was something that apparently came down the pipeline, which was also coupled with this potential curfew that was supposed to happen today, that apparently he pushed off. Yeah. That's kind of why I think he pushed off that 2:30 timeline until fucking 4:30. I think is when he came on.
He was fighting against the curfew.
I don't think he was fighting at all. I think he was trying to fucking gauge what the public was going to do. Because even on News Talk 1010, they were just like, man, if this guy does a curfew right now, like the opposition that he's going to face politically, but also just civilians, is going to be insane.
Huge.
I wouldn't accept a curfew, man.
Like, that was a rumored thing last lockdown because Quebec issued the curfew.
It's coming.
In December.
Yeah. It's still happening. They still have one.
Yeah, they still have it. Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
They actually switched it back to 8:00 now.
8:00. It was 10 before, right?
9 or something. I don't know.
Because it only exists at night, right?
Apparently.
Yeah. You can close all the businesses down, but
Doug Ford. That the first time in December when it was first proposed. He was like, I never want to do a lockdown because it's a slippery slope. Like, to his credit, he's right. It's a slippery slope to tyranny. And I think that's why he's like has refused to do it since then. And then we're seeing right now
it's so close.
What's going on in Quebec?
It's so close to lockdown, man.
There's so many
curfew. Sorry.
There's all these protests. There was like 2 straight days of rioting in Montreal.
As there should be.
Because of the curfews, right?
As there should be.
And like that would absolutely happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I can't say if I would join that or not.
If they had a curfew in Ontario, that would absolutely happen.
Yeah.
Although, gauging by some of the comments on that press conference, it seems like people are just going to riot anyways.
I'm
sure
point, man,
tomorrow's
like
going to be pretty rough.
Toronto.
Yeah.
I mean, we have it pretty easy. It's not like we're in fucking Minneapolis right now, where real shit's going down. Coupled with COVID, right? Like with everything that's happening with the police stuff in the States and
sure, yeah,
what's going on there.
It's fair enough, but like we have
our own set of problems.
We have the tightest restrictions in North America, so
yeah. We also somehow have worse numbers than like a lot of the very free states like Florida and fucking Texas.
We have the worst situation
there also could be a
from
testing.
all of the G20 countries.
There also could be a testing differentiality there.
Because they're testing less?
More. They could be testing more here rather than in like places like Texas or whatever. Right?
True. Fair.
But if you look at California, like I'm pretty sure that California has a higher population than Canada as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they aren't close to the numbers that we have. So they're either not testing people as much, which I'm pretty sure they probably are, or they're vaccinating more, which I know that they are, or something fucking fishy is going on here. There's 3 fucking options. Sorry. It's the whole thing is fucking scary, and that whole agenda thing that we talked about back in October when I found it.
Yeah.
That again, another milestone was checked off today.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying. And the fact that the media acknowledged that whole agenda.
Yeah, that thing has been like to the T almost. Well, about like a week behind each time. But
yeah.
But essentially,
yeah.
Within the quarters, I suppose.
Yeah, and someone that I know and work with very close every day was like pretty skeptical about the whole thing, and he kind of called me out on being like a fucking conspiracy guy or whatever, which I like my conspiracies, but only with aliens, which we'll get into in a bit. But he didn't really like. I showed it to him at first, and he was like, all right, whatever, and I thought it was bullshit too. And we've been keeping up on it, and it's every single time an announcement's made, we refer to that, and we're like, yeah, this is pretty legit, man.
Yeah, it's damn close, and especially now the talks of UBI, like,
yeah,
it's
not good.
It's definitely too close for comfort.
No, it's just straight up not fucking good, man. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, it's a this leaked document back from
October
2020 that
from
was
somebody in the liberal federal government.
Yeah,
document leaked from the Prime Minister's office. Yeah, you want some of this whiskey?
Yeah, just a little bit. And this guy, he outlined this full agenda essentially, and
it's a full,
had some
plan basically.
With some pretty, do you have ginger ale there?
Yeah, I got some ginger ale.
Some pretty dystopian shit was at the end of it, which I still don't believe, but the actual timeline of it is pretty fucking real, man. And it gets kind of fucking scary at a certain point in time.
Yeah, just outlining like what was going on in October, and then setting up the
to the T though.
What do they call it? The COVID like relief facilities or
COVID
something
relief.
like that.
I can pull it up.
Something like that, and then into the second wave, which was on point. That started in December.
Well, it all had to do with the IMF,
wave,
right? The scary shit was the IMF part of that whole thing, but they call it. Just give me a sec here. Isolation facilities is what they call it.
Isolation
But
facilities.
he mentioned
yes.
the COVID health pass, or he or she. I don't know what the gender was on that.
Yeah.
But he or she mentioned the Canadian health pass, which
Yep.
was like vaguely
I
in
guess
the media at that
the
point in time.
The passport is what they're calling it now.
The health pass? They're calling it
Yeah.
passport, COVID passport.
The vaccination passport or whatever. But the strangest thing in that agenda is that at the end he said that he or she or whoever said that many other countries would also be doing this. And I mean, you're talking England is talking about COVID passports. Biden is all about the COVID passports now. Yeah. It's definitely on point.
No, it's fucking terrifying. It is on point, and it's. I encourage anyone to look into that whole leaked October 2020
I
leaked
think it was
Trudeau's
like the
agenda or
leaked,
whatever. It sounds fucking ridiculous, but if you look at it, it's insane.
2021 agenda or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think it might still be up on the Canadian Reporter
I don't think it is.
website or something like that. No, maybe not.
No, I don't. Like, Reddit's been posting about it recently. I've actually been talking with this one guy on Reddit. He actually DM'd me.
No, yeah.
One of the first DMs I've got off Reddit. It was weird.
Oh yeah.
Super weird, yeah. It's just like some old dude.
Asking for it or
No, we just like I made a comment like on a thing about I'll show you after. I don't want to disclose my Reddit personality at all. And he just made a comment about like how fucked up it is in Canada now. It's like, oh shit, man. It's kind of cool to have like another Canuck like in these comments. I won't say what subreddit it was, but it was interesting. And he actually DM'd me and he was like, "Do you have any info on this?" And I was like, "Listen, man. Like, I'm not a fucking lizard fucking lizard person conspiracy dude at all. I just think this is kind of crazy." And the thread I was commenting on was in relevance to what we're talking about. And I was just commenting, being like, you know, take whatever is happening with a grain of salt, but also understanding, question everything, kind of thing. It was a long-winded comment, but it's kind of the post I was trying to get across. So he DM'd me, this guy from Alberta.
Yep.
And he was just talking about, fuck, smoking cigars next door. God damn. Whew. Fucking Margot. And, yeah, I sent it to him. I had saved the file because it's been deleted off the internet many times. I sent him the file.
Yeah,
he DM'd me.
Debunked.
Yeah, apparently. He
According to
DM'd,
Reuters,
he DM'd me this. He DM'd me this morning. He's like, this guy's probably insane.
He DM'd you this morning?
Yeah, he's like, I've been printing this shit off and posting it in all the public washrooms. And I was like, bro, you're probably crazy. Because I don't know if this is real or not. I just thought it was an interesting topic.
Yeah.
We talked a lot more about, like, aliens and shit like that and just whatever, just, like, shooting the shit. Seemed like a good dude, but... I don't know, he's a good dude, but... He didn't actually say he was, like, going manic or anything, but I just thought it was interesting. It is interesting as well that Routers is $35 a month now.
I think it's interesting how far that leaked document went because...
Oh, you made it into the mainstream media in Canada? And they actually said, oh, no, don't worry about this? Yeah, I think that's pretty fucking weird too, man.
Yeah, they said don't worry about it. But of course they would because, whatever, the Liberals control the entire media. But... You know, if you read comments on any of, like, Narcity Canada's shit, there's, like, so many comments about the agenda.
Oh, that
like,
document.
There's so many people have actually seen that.
Good.
Yeah. Thank God people are out there actually questioning shit.
Are they bots, though? That's the other thing, right? You got the other thing I've been, like, questioning myself on is like no, I don't know. I don't mean that many, but the other thing I've been questioning myself on is misinformation, and not from like the whole like, oh, there's chemtrails out there, because they've been labeling that as misinformation recently, and that's kind of fucked up.
Chemtrails?
No, not just chemtrails, just like any conspiracy, like anything.
Yeah, true, but like, where does it end? Like, what exactly
Well,
is a
apparently
conspiracy
YouTube.
and what isn't? You know?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, what I'm getting at is like YouTube is scheduled to take off millions and millions of videos in the next
Damn.
few months
Damn.
that are considered harmful. So, what is considered
right.
harmful?
What
Because
is harmful?
I know that YouTube has like a shitload of videos on there. I have to be careful how I say this. I have. Yeah, this is a weird.
What did you do?
No. I didn't do anything. It's a weird topic to talk about because within certain threads on Reddit, like innocent threads, like conspiracy threads or whatever the fuck, they've talked about YouTube being corrupt for pedophilia, with many videos of underage children doing like yoga and shit like that. And then like if you go into the comments,
yeah.
which I've honestly never searched up, and now that I say it, I'm just automatically incriminating myself. But I've seen the screenshots of it, and it's just like the comments, and they're fucking insane.
Yeah.
But those aren't being taken off. But if you have a guy talking about PCR testing or mRNA vaccines, and I'm not anti-vax at all, except for what's happening right now. And I'm not even anti about it. Like, I'm not even fucking like, this isn't a good thing. I'm just a little bit skeptical.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair thing.
As you should be.
Anyone should be.
I mean,
and
if
it's
the government
fucked up
is
that we know
forcing
people
you to
that are
take an experimental drug. I
not
mean, you
forcing,
should be,
but
yeah. Essentially,
allegedly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But these videos exist, man,
heavily
and
enforcing a substance.
but
that
here's the
has
thing, though.
not been
These-
really
these-
tested. Then,
well, no,
yeah,
they haven't.
You
It hasn't.
should.
It hasn't passed human trials yet.
Exactly.
And the thing is, like,
You
you
should
have
be
the
skeptical about that.
well, the thing is that you have these insane fucking videos that are happening on YouTube, and these like straight up creepos are commenting on. And this is the whole thread I was reading about a couple months ago. It was like, listen, like YouTube's taking down shit about like stuff that's happening right now, but you're not going to take down this stuff. And then that same thread resurfaced. It was a repost of the thread with another title saying like YouTube taking down like this is Reddit, man. Reddit is just fucking Reddit is like completely infiltrated with bullshit at this point in time. Like there's very few forums that you can find online that are I wouldn't even say truthful, but like actually like the people's media. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like there's very few. We can talk about what they are after, but because I don't want to sound insane, and I'm not going to say 4chan. That's for fuck damn sure, because 4chan's full of pedophiles. But
have you ever been on 4chan?
Yeah, I hate it.
Fuck. I have never been on 4chan.
It's not like all creepos. It's shit. It's basically Reddit. Like you search what you want to see.
Okay.
I go on 4chan like every once in a while for the UFO videos. Like there'll be links to it and shit like that. It's not fucked. Some of it's fucked, but some of Reddit is fucked.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, some of ATS is fucked. I don't know if you know what ATS is, but some of that shit's fucked too.
It's ATS.
ATS is above top secret. It's like the original forum that I started on when I was like a little kid. It was all about like aliens and shit like that and just cool stuff.
I think like anything like that would be.
Well, so you gotta take everything you read with a grain of salt, man. Like, you can't believe everything, right?
Stuff on there for sure.
Well, ATS wasn't
so open, right?
Well, ATS wasn't like weird pedophile shit. It was mostly like political, like brainwashing and stuff like that. No, I wouldn't say brainwashing, but like left and right and all that kind of stuff.
If you hit up a forum like that, it's like so open.
It's an open forum.
Can be on it,
yeah,
right?
and you have mods. But have you heard of the Reddit? Have you heard of the new
some crazy shit?
Have you heard of the new Reddit? Like the whole mod thing happening right now. One of the Reddit mods. Oh man, one of the Reddit mods is like being ousted for like supporting like a known pedophile, like a very like high profile known pedophile within Reddit.
Really?
Like one of like the top people in Reddit.
Damn.
Oh yeah, like I'm not talking like mods on like a fucking conspiracy thread or anything like that. Anyone can be a mod on one of those. You just got to be there for long enough, right? You just got to have your account history. I'm talking like mods in like within Reddit, like within the actual website, like paid moderators.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, it's been a whole thing. But all of these threads calling her out, it's a she who is defending. I believe it's her uncle or someone, or not. Maybe it's someone that she knows very closely. is being called out, but all the threads are getting deleted. It's like
Whoa.
pretty fucked. Yeah, the censorship going on in Reddit, if you pay attention, is crazy. Oh, there is some really weird
Yeah,
shit
I'm like
going
never
on.
Reddit, so I have
It's
no
a great
idea about the world of Reddit. But
it's great for finding stuff out immediately before it gets deleted, and then you do your own research and figure it out.
okay.
But the guys that are constantly on there, that are just like the warriors of Reddit, that defend like the open press thing, that don't think that it's like infiltrated, it's pretty wild, man. Like it's wild in the sense that like that is supposed to be a public forum where you can talk whatever shit you want and you can decide your own fate, essentially, right? You decide your own knowledge. You either research or you don't. It's a be all or end all.
Remember when the internet was the Wild West and there was like
It still is.
there was no gatekeepers?
Well, it still is, but now the gatekeepers are people that control shit that we don't even fully understand.
Yeah.
And that's what's starting to come out on Reddit. I'm not talking about like just the pedophilia thing. I'm also not like a Pizzagate guy. That's for sure.
Pizzagate.
But it's interesting what floats on Reddit and what doesn't. It's the same thing with Twitter right now. Like what floats on Twitter right now. Like Dorsey's doing some weird shit, man. And so is YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And they're censoring a lot of weird shit. And it's coming quick. It's not a slow burn. Like it's a very, very, it's a fast fucking fire, man. It's a wildfire.
Clean sweep of censorship.
And that's not good. And I don't like Alex Jones at all. No, I wouldn't say at all. But I don't enjoy.
You know, I didn't like him for a long time.
He's
but the
been
more
right about a lot of shit.
Yeah, but the more and more
that
crazy
bothers me.
shit starts to happen, I'm like, maybe Alex Jones is not completely insane. Maybe he's doing the right thing in a way.
I've also grown to like maybe
He says a lot of crazy shit, for sure. But in doing so, he does nail it sometimes.
Sometimes. The Sandy Hook thing, he buried himself there.
Super wrong about that. But he did come out and fully apologize.
Up until recently, there was another court thing about that. But he might have been right about aliens. So I'm gonna take a quick old pee.
Yeah, I go to the washroom and then we'll talk about this fucking Pentagon leaked footage because it's fantastic.
It's not fantastic. It's so fucking scary, dude.
But it's so good.
It's so scary.
So good.
I actually got into a pretty good argument with a guy on the UFO thread today. Shouldn't have said that. I hope this guy fucking hears me because I hate you. About some of the footage.
Is he denying it?
No, man. Like it's gotten to the point where people. Interesting. Where people are literally like, "Whoa, they're telling me that they don't know what it is, but I think they do know what it is. So we can't trust them that they say that they don't know what it is because they do know what it is." And my whole argument was like, "All right, man, listen. You've been sitting here on the computer for God knows fucking how long in these forums being like, hey, man, aliens are real. The government won't tell us." And then when the fucking government finally says, yeah, we don't know what it is, you're going to be like, oh, they're lying. At what point? What do you need? Like, what do you want? And then the guy was like, well, there's Project Blue Beam. And I was like, okay, first off, that's not fucking in concrete at all. That's a theory. It's not a concrete project. You have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Because neither do I, because it's fucking theory. And also, so if there was aliens, if you looked up and there was an armada, that person would be like, that's Project Blue Beam. They're just it's a fucking projection. It's like, dude, what do you want? Like, I don't know what you want, man. Like, what the fuck? And then you get Corbell into this whole fucking thing, and fuck oh, fucking goddamn it. I'll be right back.
What a fucking idiot. Okay, go do your thing, man.
Fucking, man, Corbell, he was the guy that All
right, fuck, we're back.
Jeez.
Lighten up that joint. We're gonna talk about Space Invaders.
You're talking about how much I fucking dislike Jeremy Corbell?
That guy is, oh man, like I'm sure he's a fine guy, but like he is really hard to listen to. He is so pretentious.
Oh yeah,
just,
man.
Just fucking loves
he's hard.
himself.
He's hard to. Yeah. He's hard to.
Like
he does love himself, eh? That's
like
that whole
every
thing, right?
second he has, he'll just start talking about his movies and shit.
Oh man, and so
it's like he
that
hasn't done anything in his entire life. He's just like, I made a fucking movie.
Well, he came out of nowhere.
Special for it.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere.
He came out of nowhere because he kept like emailing Joe Rogan.
So how did he get a hold of these Pentagonis?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like how the fuck did that work?
I don't know.
Well, that's
who's
even worse
working
than
with him, or like I don't know who's allowing him to do this shit, but
well, because apparently he like have you seen the news broadcast from the States
of the of what?
Well, they talk about how like the pyramid thing. The pyramid UFO thing. They were like, yeah, Jeremy Corbell. Like they mentioned him
I did absolutely see
and that he got like kudos for it. I'm like, man, what the you didn't fucking do shit here. Because it was for his upcoming movie or something. What is that about?
Of course it was.
But that's. Why does it have to be about like from his upcoming movie? Like, dude, this is very important. So I was in the shop today, right? So I'm in the shop. We're having beers after work. It was around 4:30 when fucking douchebag Doug came on, and we're fucking chilling. We're listening to this whole thing, and then after that happened, a couple guys kind of funneled out, and we're sitting there talking. And the one dude goes like, he's talking about like, he's like, "Oh, Luke, did you see like the alien thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, obviously." He's like, "What do you mean? Obviously, this is huge." They're like admitting to it, and I was like, "Buddy, they did this in fucking like, are you kidding me? They did this in January.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?" And he's like, "They did," and I was like, "Yeah. Where were you?" And he's like, "Oh, I wasn't paying attention to the news." And I was like, "You should probably do that because this has already been said." And he's like, "Well, how come that flew under the radar?" And I was like, "It flew under the radar, Chad." Because that's exactly the person that they're trying to tell this about. Like this is why it's like, what do you fucking mean, man? How come that flew under the radar? Because no one fucking pays attention. Because you're too busy watching fucking Tiger King or reruns of The Office or maybe Criminal Minds, which is a half decent TV show but still sucks. Like what the fuck? You're just not gonna pay attention to shit. You don't have a news app on your phone. Even if you did, you wouldn't even realize that it's biased as fuck.
Some fucking people, right?
No, but that's not some people, man. That's the problem. It's most people, man.
Yeah.
It's our parents. That's our fucking. It's our friends. That's people that are like, "Oh, it wasn't big news, so it must not be true." Well, how come I didn't hear about it? Why come? Why come me no hear out it? How come I no hear about Sky God come down Earth, big ones from space? Don't know virus real. I don't understand it. Fuck you. Honestly, man, get hit by a fucking truck. We don't need you here. You're not critical.
If the news isn't strapped to a brick and hurtling towards their face, they're probably never going to see it. You know.
It's a fucking dude. That's the fucking biggest fucking story, man. That literally, as soon as in January, and they were like, "Listen, we don't know what the fuck they are." Yeah. That should have, if you were a fucking Christian at that point in time, you should have been like, I'm going to castricize myself. No, sorry. Not even, I'm going to crucify myself because this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Everything I ever believed in and all my ancestors just got negated because now everyone's like, oh, there's shit out there. We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means that your God is fucking done, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
No one fucking cared. There was nothing.
Apparently.
Zero.
And it's gonna keep
Zero reaction. Zero fucking reaction. And if you talk about it,
because I'm pretty sure it wasn't that
June 1st.
The Pentagon's plan
June
was
1st.
Like every fucking month or whatever.
No, it was June 1st. It wasn't the Pentagon's plan. The Pentagon is drip feeding shit. It was June 1st that they were supposed to have. It was in the COVID-19 relief bill or whatever. It was fucking hidden in there. It was a spending bill. It wasn't a COVID-19 relief bill. That's what they labeled it. It was a spending bill. In that, they had I'm pretty sure it was a Freedom of Information Act request to have these classified documents declassified about the U.S. UFO and extraterrestrial bullshit going on. They didn't actually say ET stuff. They just said the UFO shit. It was hidden, though.
Crazy.
It's fucking insane, dude. It's
what's to come? What else?
Apparently more documents. Apparently more shit. Apparently more fucking redacted documents and all this shit that you can't even fucking read. It doesn't even fucking matter. And a couple videos that have been floating around the internet for the last 10 fucking years, like that pyramid one that's been floating around forever. I've seen that before. But now all of a sudden the Navy's like, yeah, we don't know what it is. Hi, I am Officer Whitebird, and I don't know what the fuck that is.
Well, it's one thing.
They didn't say
floating around for so long. It's one thing for that to be floating around, but for the Pentagon being like, we don't even know what that is. Like that is 100% real because we can't even confirm that that's a fucking.
Well, as the guy said on as the guy said on Reddit, is it real, or is it just misinformation? Is it just something they want you to think is real because maybe they don't actually exist and I'm a fucking idiot and I've always believed that aliens exist, but now they're telling me that aliens exist, so I can't believe it because it goes against my conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't make everybody happy, man.
No, but at the same point, it also gets in your head where you're like, well, fuck, man. Like, I don't know. Is this misinfo? I don't fucking know. You literally cannot trust anything you read anymore. It's actually insane. I'm good on that because if I smoke the rest of this, I will probably not make it home, and I have to work in the morning, which is a fucking bummer, dude.
Just call in.
Oh, no, it's a side job. I can't.
Tell them that you're dead.
Hey, I died. The UFOs took me to the place I don't want to go.
Yeah.
It's
hey
man,
I'm
like
dead. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you Sunday.
Okay.
Like man, like it actually exploded my brain when like I was trying to talk to people. Like I was trying to talk to someone very close to me.
Yep.
And I was like, "Hey, man, this shit happened today." Like, this is back when it first got like not announced, but they were like that was essentially the first step of disclosure.
Yep.
Right back in I think it was July of last year, June or July or whatever the fuck it was. They were like, "Yo, yeah, Commander Fravor, this video that's been popping around on the internet for the last like fucking 15 years, not actually that long, but like a couple of years. I had seen it before, didn't really know what to think of it because there was no context. Anyone can put a filter of like anyone can do anything they want with computers now, right. Which is the scary part.
Yeah.
But so then all of a sudden the Pentagon was like, "Yo, this is real."
Yep.
All right.
It's pretty legit.
Crazy. Media kind of blew up about it. Reddit definitely blew up about it.
Yeah.
So did ATS. Everyone was like, "Holy shit, this shit's like going on." Finally, like we have some sort of acknowledgement. So I was like, "Yo,
yeah,
big dude that I know, several big dudes that I know, and by that I mean like friends,
big dudes,
like just friends. The big dude at
large human beings.
Yeah. Well, the BD at first was supposed to be like a acronym, but a lot of guys that I know, and people that I know, I was talking to them about it, and I was like, "Yo, you guys check it out about this one." Is they got the aliens and they say it's real and here it comes now, and they were all just like, "Yeah, man, that's fucking crazy," and that was it.
Yeah, and they fucking.
There was no like, wait a minute. There was one guy that I know that was like, "Yo, what? Like finally?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yo, sick," and he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "All right, sweet.
He'd be down, yeah.
You're a teacher now, and that's fucking sick. You hopefully teach kids about UFOs." But no one gave a shit. No one cared. Literally no one cared.
It's too hard to care. People don't care.
Yeah, but how?
People are just like, I want
that's
to go
like
home and
that's
I want
like
to eat a
dude.
sandwich.
That's
and I wanna
so
watch
important.
Netflix. That's
That
what
is
they
that
want.
is so important. That's very important information. To know that
It's
there are
fucking huge.
to know that there are things
That's the biggest
that
news of
so
our
dude,
generation.
and the funniest thing about that is those same people will be people that would like fight tooth and nail in an argument over politics.
Yeah.
This person said they were going to do that. And this person said they were going to do that. And then you're like, yeah, but also they're saying that this shit's in the air and they don't know what it is. And then it's not from here.
Yeah.
Multiple countries.
Yeah.
A lot of them. And some of those same people will be like...
And they pop up in hotspots, too.
Yeah, and some of those same
there's
people...
some crazy shit happening. There's always a UFO sighting.
Well, yeah, and those same people would be like... Yeah, but he's gonna do everything he said to do in the election. But dude, there's shit up there that you don't know where it's from, and they're telling, literally enemies of countries are telling each other, it is not us. We don't know what it is either.
Yeah.
And those same people that are like, yeah, but that guy that we're voting for, he's gonna do this.
Do they even care about that though?
No, but like what I'm getting at is those people. If you were to talk to them and be like, "Yeah, I don't really like Trump." If you were in the States, and then that person would be like, oh, "What are you fucking kidding me, bro? He's the fucking best." But then that person would be like, "Yeah, I don't really like Biden, man. He's like not good." You know, the different spectrums.
Sure.
Or you put it in Canada, you're like, "Yeah, Ford's doing a terrible job," and someone else would be like, "Yeah, he's doing a fucking great job." Yo, Trudeau's the best. No, he's not. I hate him. That whole conflict.
Yeah.
But everyone's just like looking chest level, and it's like, dude, they just said, like Canada and the States and a lot of Europe and like very many other places in the world.
Otherworldly things are happening.
Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, we don't know what's up there, and it's all over the news, and you guys are fucking stupid because you're not paying attention.
Yep.
So don't fucking say that we didn't tell you so, because it's been here the whole time. Also, Tiger King fucking sucks, and it really pissed me off when everyone started watching that fucking bullshit, that kind of stuff. When all this shit started happening, I was like, dude, this is way better than anything you've ever seen. Because you can just go down rabbit holes and be like, holy fuck, there's actually shit. Like, dude, that isn't...
Like, what
dude,
do you think it is? What do you think they're here for?
Dude,
what are they doing?
Man.
What are the fucking aliens here for?
No. Just let me get.
That's what I want to know.
Okay, let me get my point across here. I'm fucking angry because it's like you're looking at all this shit happening, and you're like, yeah, but I still like go to church, and it's like, why are you doing that? What are you doing? Are you not thinking critically? Do you not realize that like if we all put our brains together, we could actually achieve something?
Well, of course,
and like figure this shit
out.
out.
Don't think critically.
No, but it's insane that people are still just being like, God's gonna help me. It's fucking insane, dude. It's fucking insane. Even if they're lying to us and they're like, oh, the news is bullshit, whatever, they're still at least acknowledging that, yeah, like there's shit going on. It's fucked. But no one was like, oh, fuck, maybe like, well, how did the Egyptian guys get this shit? What, is Atlantis real? I don't fucking know. Like, why are we just negating fucking everything in history? It's ridiculous. And some people literally believe the Earth is 2,000 years old. But you're gonna ignore cave paintings that have like all this insane shit on them, and it's just fucking insanely obvious that these people weren't fucking around, and they didn't have media. They weren't drip fed these weird ideas here and there. And now they're being like, yeah, we don't know what's happening. And you're just going to be like, yeah, fuck it. I don't care. I got to go to church tomorrow. And also, I got to go do concrete on Monday. I'm Italian. It's bullshit, man.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get everybody on board, obviously. There's some people out there that are just like, they're very comfortable with the status quo. Because there's safety in that, right? And I think a lot of like the Christians are like that as well. Like, there's a lot of safety in just like doing the same thing that has never changed for thousands of fucking years. People like that. Don't question anything. That's too hard.
Yeah.
Just go to church, pay your fucking dues, go to work, watch Netflix, jerk off. Like, that's it. That's all they do.
Yeah, that really is it, man.
Yeah. Because if you start questioning things, you start going down rabbit holes, and then people start pointing at you like you're the fucking other. Like you're the psycho. Why don't you just go to work and watch Netflix, man? Like everybody else.
Just go home and watch the game, dude.
Watch the fucking game.
Sports has been a constant through COVID. I still think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta keep people occupied, right?
Movies,
Otherwise they'd start thinking too much.
it's kind of what it seems like at this point.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
There's
fucked.
absolutely no point to having a hockey game on right now. I'm gonna watch grown men play a children's sport for millions of dollars.
Well, that's the whole thing.
During a pandemic?
You
Like,
just
what the fuck is that
but you
about?
just missed the whole point. It's the narrow, man.
Money. Yeah.
Have you watched a hockey game recently?
No.
All the advertisements have changed. There's so many more advertisements. They have like advertisements on their helmets. They're in the stands now because there's no people. They're hemorrhaging money. It's fucked. But if you talk to a hockey guy, they don't want to admit that. But like all sports teams are suffering, man. It's crazy, but not in the States. I mean, so like, it's weird. It's a weird dynamic of like, we put those people above us, and that's always really bothered me. Specifically because I have people that are close to me that do very, very important jobs that actually save lives, like on a fucking daily basis.
Right.
Like my parents, very close to me, obviously.
Right.
My father's a firefighter. My mother's been a practicing nurse for as long as I've been alive. So same with my grandmother, and they've been shredding, man. Like they just obvious. Like my mom's been a midwife. She's been fucking labor and delivery. All this shit. She runs nursing homes now. She's been quarantined when Toronto got hit real hard. So like these people that actually save lives, people bitch when they make over $100K a year. But you're going to pay a 21-year-old? I mean, I know that we're not paying it. Like it doesn't come out of any of it's not a public servant. But you're going to support obviously that's not what I'm saying, but as a society, we deem that is important.
Yeah.
Dude, some of these guys are making like $14 million contracts.
Yeah.
If not more.
It's
That's just
fucking
in the NHL.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say numbers cuz like I've talked to two people that we've hung out with together, and they know way more about hockey than I do, and they've kind of schooled me on like how this financial thing works with hockey specifically, and it's fucking crazy. And then you go to the MLB and like these guys are making like hundreds of mil. Like it's insane, man.
Yeah.
But that's what we deem in society is like that. Those are our like Roman like gladiators, right?
Yeah.
And it's wild. And then you have a dude that pulls people out of a fire or a car wreck, or someone that's cutting your dead mom out of a car wreck so you can bury her fucking body, and you're gonna bitch that your tax money goes to him making, I don't know, the first couple years within 10, you're probably on like any department. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna estimate like 80 to 90.
Do people actually bitch about that?
Oh yeah.
Fucking who?
Oh,
I've never heard that.
yeah. No, but like people that are like, oh, my tax, like firefighters don't fucking.
I bitch about my taxes going.
No,
to,
I'm talking like the older like generation, like if you talk to like shitty parents, like stuff like that generation.
They're pissed off at like firefighters and nurses.
Oh yeah, they make too much. What are they doing? This is before COVID. That's always been a conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never
Oh
heard this
fuck
argument.
yeah, man. Oh, especially with firefighters, they just fucking hang out. They don't do anything. What do they do?
Well,
They
yeah,
just show up
the
to,
stereotype, yeah, the
that's
playing
that whole
Xbox and
thing.
shit, yeah.
But there's also stereotypes to cops, that very important. There's also stereotypes of paramedics, very, very important public servants. Absolutely, three of the most. But then society will be like, oh, it's like, they get paid a lot. Oh, a cop fucks up, he makes $100K a year. Oh, a firefighter didn't do, whatever. It's $100K a year, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, these guys are doing important shit. These guys aren't pulling in $100K a year. Most of them aren't.
Yeah.
It's insane. But then society is like, yeah, but during a pandemic, it's cool for us to like, sports and stuff should be totally fine. But the arts and stuff can't.
Yeah.
But like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like what we are.
Yeah, it is it's kind of crazy because like sports is just entertainment, like professional sports, but like
Yeah, watch an old game, dude.
comedians and musicians and other artists can't do these things.
At
Like,
the same point, watch an old concert, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking wild. Although, like, I guess people are still allowed to do concerts, but you have to be like so big, right? Because like you could rent out a fucking parking lot.
Have you not seen who's?
You have
have you not? Have
those
you?
weird car concerts?
Have you not?
But
Have you not?
You have to be like huge to do that.
You know, there's like stadiums sold out in Toronto. The ACC sold out in Toronto, I believe, for like some weird like Latin American pop star guy. That's like kind of not obscure, but like someone that you've never heard of. And I'm not saying that like if you and I haven't heard of him, he's no one. But he's like it's almost like a sold out show. He's booked for July.
Really?
He's still holding on to it. There's multiple artists in Toronto that are booked for July.
Fucking crazy.
Like massive shows.
Damn.
Yeah.
And yet Rage Against the Machine has to postpone to 2022.
Well, they're doing that for a reason, right? That's different, I feel. They want the big party, but these shows are like
they're going to do like
I forget the guy's name, but he's the first. It's just they're just hoping for full concerts, man.
Just hoping.
Yeah, they started selling tickets like not that long ago. It was the whole thing.
So it's a more recent thing. It's not something that was scheduled like a year and a half ago. That
I'm sure it was in the
just
works
had to
then,
go.
but no, like it was about 6 months ago, I think, maybe, when they were talking about it. And it's still happening. They still have like concerts scheduled for July.
Yeah.
Is that just to generate hope? Because I don't think we're gonna be out of this in July, dude. That's not that far away.
There's no way. There's no fucking way.
March of last year. We've been in this for like a year.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Yeah. For anybody who thinks this is over or close to being over is fucking retarded.
But the whole world.
Yeah.
The whole world is affected.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. I'm not denying it. Like, I'm not denying that there's... I'll say it again. I'm not a fucking denier, man. It's just crazy. I remember when it first happened. I remember sitting in the staff room before we went to work one day, and one of the absolute idiots that I work with, fucking absolute moron, was like, yo, they're building fucking hospitals in China. 'Cause that's how he breathes. And he was like, yeah, they're building them really fast. That's him, but also me. And he showed me this video of them building the field hospitals in China for this virus. And he was like, it's gonna come here, bro. And I was like, probably not, man. Like, this shit happens all the time. Have you ever heard of a fucking Ebola? You ever heard of SARS? Like, I don't fucking know. Like, it's not gonna be a big deal, man. Shit happens. People get sick. I don't know. Here we are. I'll never forget that day, man.
I guess.
And it fucked me up. It fucked me up after.
Yeah, I remember like following it since like last January, probably.
Yeah.
When the news was starting to come out of China, and it was just like so. I mean, I don't know. We're both old enough. Like, we lived through SARS. It was
I remember SARS.
It was basically the same thing that was happening.
Yep.
All this news is coming out of China. They're building field hospitals. All this shit's going down. And then it's spread a bit. I mean, Toronto got hit hard during SARS, right?
Real hard. It hit,
But
it hit almost everywhere in Ontario, actually.
Yeah, it was like it was definitely a pandemic for sure.
It was actually considered an
nobody,
epidemic here, wasn't it not?
Yeah, but like nobody really treated it the same way. In fact, the Sky Dome was sold out for a benefit concert.
Oh, that was
Live Aid.
No, Live Aid wasn't the Sky Dome. That was
Not Live Aid. What the fuck was it?
It was a lot bigger than the Sky Dome. That was Pearson, I think.
Really?
Maybe not Pearson. No, it wasn't Pearson. It was it was in some sort of airport or some shit.
Anyways, a gigantic.
Was Live Aid? Live Aid was SARS.
I think it was.
There was and then
But either
after
way,
SARS was swine.
Gigantic fucking concert.
I remember swine
a
flu.
benefit concert for SARS, and like people didn't question it at all. It just they
It's
just
like
went for
it was like
man.
million, not millions of people, but hundreds of thousands. There was a lot of people there, man.
Yeah, exactly. But people didn't question it.
Yeah. Here,
It was
actually,
just,
I'll look it
was
up right
just
now.
what you were gonna do. Like it's fucking weird. But you know what was also weird is right after that, the Canadian government stockpiled hundreds of thousands of pounds of face masks and
Really?
distributed them across the provinces as preparation for the next pandemic. And when Trudeau got in office, they burned the majority of those face masks.
Why would they burn them?
Who the fuck knows? They got rid of them. And then when COVID happened and was like fully in Canada, the Trudeau government sent a majority of our masks to China.
It would have been the Trudeau government that burned them.
Yeah, when the Liberals took office after
Okay,
Harper,
okay.
they got rid of the masks.
From storage.
Yeah, those old
Really?
those old masks that were reserved from SARS.
Wow.
Yeah,
Why?
who knows? Nobody knows. This is just shit that happens, and then nobody fucking.
What is the
questions
source?
it because
What is
that's
the
how
source on
Canada
that
operates.
though? What's the source on that?
That source is from that guy. I sent a video of this guy to you yesterday.
Yes, that-
Pierre Poilievre, who is a conservative minister in the federal government.
Okay, so I did watch both of those
finance
videos.
minister. Yeah,
And he's
There is-
spoken about
there
that.
is actually that's where I heard it from. He spoke about that in the House of Commons not too long ago. Actually,
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, really fucked up.
Wow.
And then also they just sent tons of fucking masks to China
Yeah.
at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
Like what the fuck? Yeah, we
And our testing was going to
We
the
did-
States and the UK.
yeah we did everything wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything wrong.
But aliens, dude.
But the fucking aliens.
What do you think, man?
What do I think about the aliens?
Yeah, I mean, Doug Ford and Trudeau fucking suck, but what do you think what's going to happen with the aliens, man?
With the aliens, man. It's hard to fucking tell. I've always kind of felt like they're around. In a way, I believe in the ancient aliens theory.
Okay, which one?
Of
There's like
they've-
55.
Because I believe in the idea that they have been around for a very, very, very long time.
Okay, what's your...
I don't know how
Why?
much. I
Why?
don't know how
Why?
much involvement.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Well, you look at I mean the biggest thing of that is all these religious stories. Like, where the fuck does that come from? In every single religious story around the world, it's always something that comes out of the fucking sky.
Sheesh.
What is that about?
Sheesh.
And if
But
we're-
even like
and if-
back,
and if we're
back,
seeing-
back,
but if we're-
back.
yeah,
Like
it's all-
before, like there was like
it's all the same thing.
written language, man.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody
that's-
has
that's-
beliefs, right? And it
yeah.
always comes out from the sky. But like, if we're seeing
Like,
this many
globally.
sightings,
globally, though.
like since the Roswell incident, but even before that.
No, I'm talking I'm talking.
We see so many fucking sightings of UFOs. Who's to say that 2,000 years ago there was still just as many sightings, except they couldn't comprehend what exactly it was because they didn't even have close to nearly the kind of technology.
Dude, they thought that lightning
so they thought
was,
it was
God,
God
being angry
right?
at you.
Yeah, they just thought it was God, right?
That's why.
This
That's
thing
why what
floating in the
fascinates
sky.
me
It was the only
is
thing you could see
paintings,
in the
man.
sky.
What fascinates me is like, and I know this sounds like a broken record, but all the shit at Göbekli Tepe and all that crazy shit, the fucking pyramids are insane. Like the stuff that they were drawing is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And then your super old, like weird, obscure like cave paintings, like the Mojave Desert shit. And then, what's it called? Fuck. The giant diagrams in the desert out in goddamn fuck me. I forget I don't know how I'm forgetting this right now.
The Nazca lines?
Yeah, the Nazca lines. Yeah. Amazing. But the cave painting stuff.
Yeah.
That is like apparently like carbon dated or whatever the fuck they do, like thousands of years ago, man. Like way pre the fucking Bible, like all of the shit.
Yeah.
And like almost caveman stuff.
Yeah.
And there's stuff coming out of the sky. Like what the fuck? Like why?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden people are like, "Oh shit, man, like maybe the United States Navy doesn't know what it is." Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
But if you talk about that kind of shit, like to like your parents, and you're like, oh yeah, there's like cave paintings of like aliens, they'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you stupid? On a totally different spectrum. And that to me, that is fucking insane, man.
Been doing too many mushrooms, kid. And they'd be right, but
yes,
but still, I mean, I definitely think that they've been around for centuries, and I don't believe they built the pyramids or had
no.
I'm
not.
But like,
I don't believe that they were we're gonna do it to do it.
I think they are surveying the situation. Otherwise, like, what the fuck are they here for? Like, what's going on? Right?
Yeah, that whole pyramid thing with like them all lining up and stuff. There's a who is it? It's Kepling Dunger or something. There's a psychological assessment these two guys did, and it was basically confirming confirmation bias. And the guy that I was watching talk about it was talking about how you can literally draw lines to anywhere on the globe. He was taking the whole pyramid like alien thing with George Knapp, or not George Knapp, the Ancient Aliens guy.
Giorgio Tsoukalos?
Tsoukalos and somebody else within that show. It might have been Knapp. I don't fucking know, because Knapp is kind of a crackpot.
Knapp was on that show at some point.
Yeah, he's always been in and out of like the whole. That's why I don't really trust.
Bob Lazar was on that show at one point too.
That sucks. I actually don't. We'll get into Lazar after, but anyway, this guy was just talking about the psychological effects of like confirmation bias. I'm completely butchering this right now, but he was basically talking about how you can draw lines from anywhere on a map if you're looking for it. So there was a study done with people in New York City with bagels or bagel shops.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this?
No.
The bagel shop thing?
No.
They were like, if you draw a line from here to this bagel shop and this bagel shop, it'll create a net.
Right.
If you are looking for the net.
It's true.
So that's why when people are like, oh, everything's like facing like the fucking thing with the pyramids, it's all facing like Proxima Centauri. It's like, yeah, man, if you're looking for it, then yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because you're negating everything else. You're ignoring every other line. Yeah. So if you're only focusing on those lines, what it lines up to is what it lines up to. And if that happens to fit, then it's confirmation bias, which is really interesting.
I mean, anybody can do that. Like, I used to get super fucking high and just like stare at the stars. And if you really focus on a cluster of stars, it just makes like a triangle. Mm-hmm. And you're like, those 3 stars are way brighter than anything else.
Yeah, and then if you look at them from long enough, they'll flicker because your eyes play tricks on you. It's called pareidolia. It's called pareidolia, man. It's about seeing what the human brain wants to see and what it's familiar with. That's why, like, when you look at a weird, obscure, like, towel in a internet image, and you're like, or the caption is like, "Do you see a dog?" It's pareidolia.
Yeah, there was like, I think it was maybe last summer. I was out at the cottage and I was looking out on Lake Erie, and there was this incredible bright light that was like flickering, and it was just like it was casting a shadow. It was casting light on the lake.
I've seen that over like Ontario before. I'm interested in where you're going with this. I don't think I've heard the story before.
And it almost looked like it was rotating because like the lights were slightly, how do you say it? Like one was brighter than the other. Basically,
okay. Yeah.
Right? Like noticeably brighter than the other, and it seemed like 2 things that were right next to each other.
So like a helicopter or a plane.
Yeah, And then I was like wondering what the fuck it was. I was staring at it for like hours.
Oh, it was there for a while.
Yeah.
That's different.
Just there for fucking hours.
That's very different.
Because I could see it just from like, like my parents' beach.
That's much different
right?
than like seeing a plane. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know where your parents' like cottage is.
Yeah.
I've worked there many times.
I was just staring at it, and like me and my dad were staring at it, and then
Oh, your dad noticed it.
yeah, we were both out there just looking at it for hours. And my dad has this like app on his phone that's like a constellation app.
Oh, here we go.
Right. That like
How bright are we talking?
It gives you like if you move it around, you can see all the constellations.
Yes,
and stuff like
yeah.
that.
A friend that I know has the same app.
Yeah,
I know what you're
it's a
talking
popular
about.
app.
Yeah.
So we pointed.
It's very funny.
We pointed.
It's
at
the
it.
free one.
Probably free.
Yeah.
We pointed at it, and it was Saturn and Jupiter right next to each other. And
How
then,
bright?
and
How
then
bright
I,
was
then
it?
I then I googled it, and I'm like, and it was actually confirmed. Like this was the point in.
How low and how bright was it?
This was the point in like once in a century time where they're actually so close that it's actually bright like a star.
Okay, so like the moon, though. Like not that bright, but like bright enough to cast like a seeming like shadow. Because I've seen planets that kind of do
like
that.
A very
When Saturn was low a year or 2 years ago, it was low, and it did cast like it was very fucking bright, but it wasn't bright enough.
Yeah.
From where I was on Lake Ontario to see what
bright.
I saw, man.
This was bright like a searchlight bright, like very bright.
Yeah, Saturn is
'cause
like
stars
super
are
far
bright.
away. It wouldn't. I don't think that. I don't know, man. That's kind of fucked.
Both of them right next to each other. The reflection off of the sun, maybe.
Okay.
Possible.
So what I saw over Lake Ontario, which I think I've told you this before, was something rising out of the water.
Yeah.
And that was different. And it hung there for about maybe 15 minutes and then sunk. But it didn't flare out. It was a constant, like, bright. Like, it was fucked.
Right.
Very, very bright. Mm-hmm. It didn't go away. Like, it didn't stay there like a very bright planet would. Or
Right.
reflection of planets.
Oh, I believe you, but
It was insane.
because there's so many reports of crazy shit coming out of Lake Ontario.
It was so when your brain sees something.
Just gotta grab a Coke.
Yeah. But when your brain sees something and like you don't know what the fuck you're looking at, it was. Luke has gone away to grab a Coke, but that's what that's what I was experiencing. It was fucking nuts, man. It was just this thing that it didn't. There was no legitimate. Luke is back now, so I'm not just talking to myself. There was no legitimate differentiation of like it coming off the horizon and it like peaking and just staying there to it going back down. Like there was no variation in light source. It was just a constant. It was absolutely constant, and it was fucking weird. And I've seen it more than once. And I know what a flare looks like. I know how a flare works.
So it wasn't flickering or juddering or anything. It was just one constant light.
It was a constant light source, man. So that's
another weird thing is like, why do all of these UFOs like? Why are they lit up at all? They don't have to be.
Are they always though? That's the other thing.
I guess so. That's a good point. Maybe some of them just don't. No, we never see them.
What do you see during the day if it's not lit up?
Yeah.
There's always been I love aliens and like the whole topic, and it always like kind of freaks me out and all that shit. I'm a fucking nerd. But I'm a super nerd because, well, not even really, but Halo 2, there's a level where the Arbiter says the storm will mask our approach. And that's always fucked with me. Because if you think about it, yeah, you know the level I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
When you fly in and you start to assassinate all the little grunts that are sleeping and shit, it's actually fucked.
Yeah, it is fucked actually.
Yeah,
but it's an effective way to take.
Oh, it's very effective. Yeah, but he says that as you're flying in on the fucking on the Phantom, he's like the storm will mask our approach, and I've always thought about that in like that aspect of like I guess just maybe surveillance or whatever the fuck it is. But you can only see what is clear in the skies. Like above that, you have no fucking clue what's going on because you can't see it. You have no idea. And how much do you look up into the skies? Very rarely, because everyone's just always just, you know, not just you specifically or independently, which I guess is the same thing, but like the individual doesn't usually, like, they're not just like looking up, you know, what the fuck's going on up there? You know, hey,
yeah,
Johnny, what's up in the skies? That cloud looks like a puppy. You fucking gay, bro. Like that's what goes on.
Yeah,
you just don't look up.
Yeah,
even at nighttime, you can't look up in cities because there's fucking light pollution.
In the cities, yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, you just won't see shit unless it's like mad close. Even if it was something like a plane that you wouldn't notice unless, like, you know, like when I go out to my parents' cottage, man, the sky is so clear and there's absolutely no light pollution up there, and we're far enough north where there's very little pollution in general. And like I've seen the Milky Way, man. Have you ever actually seen the Milky Way, or like our like view of it? Because you know where we are in it, right? Like, you understand that whole thing.
Yeah, like.
You ever seen that little spot? You ever seen that band of stars? It's fucking insane.
I haven't been in a great area where I could see it with too much light pollution. Like my parents' cottage definitely has like very minimal.
So have you ever
light pollution, but you don't get the full effect.
So what I'm asking you is, you ever looked up at the stars and actually seen the white band, like that cloudy white band, and you look at it? No, okay. So you've never
fucking wild.
Yeah, dude, I really want to take you up to where our place is because you're far enough up there where it.
I want to see the Northern Lights, man.
So apparently where our cottage is, the local dudes that we've talked to, several of them on different occasions, and they've all been separated occasions, they say that up there, the Northern Lights dance on the forest floor. And these dudes are like 60.
Really?
Yeah. They say if you go at the right time of year, it's on the floor of the forest, as Trump would say. They say it looks like it's on the ground.
I thought you had to get way more north.
No, they say it's fucking weird. All of these dudes are like, this is weird. Because I asked them the first time we were up there, I was like, are we far enough up to actually see the Northern Lights? Because I said, I'm colorblind. They've been in our area. Like, you've been able to see them here. You have to go up on the mountain or fucking out at like Fawn Hill, like near places we grew up. But you can see them with like minimal light pollution if you look up. But they were like, yeah, we've seen them, but sometimes they happen on the forest floor. And he's like, it looks like you're looking at, like, he's like, you ever done acid? And I was like, I don't know, maybe not, maybe yes. It's the first time I met this guy.
Some 6-year-old guy?
No, yeah, this old dude, like several old guys.
Yeah.
They were all like, the one guy was like, you ever done acid? And my dad wasn't in the room, and I was like, yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. And he was like, it's like that, but it's fucking real. And I was like, dude, I don't know what you mean. He's like, imagine just seeing like blue and like fucking like an aura like on the ground. And these dudes, like, they're hardened hunters.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up, man. These guys are like hardened, like they fucking hunt wolves. Like they're fucking hard dudes, like bush people. And they were like, yeah, it's fucking weird. But they just were like, yeah, we see it, whatever. We grew up here. They're like, you guys don't like, you don't see that down south, like that kind of shit. Yeah. I was just like, no, man. Like, I can't even see the stars. Yeah. Hamilton to them is fucked. Hamilton and Toronto are as New York City Times Square to these guys.
Yeah.
But these guys are like, yeah, no, you can see it up here. Like sometimes it's on the floor of the forest. And I'm just like, I don't even understand what you're saying to me right now, but I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah.
But also they were like, you ever done acid? So who knows?
I would love to see it though, man.
Yeah, it's weird. And we're not that of that high of elevation. So I just don't really understand where that whole thing comes from. But it's fucking weird.
Could be aliens. Who knows?
Maybe, man. My sister told me a fucking weird story.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. We were up at the cottage. We were sitting in the bush having a campfire. No one's around, right? It's me and my sister, my two little brothers, and we just talked like spooky stories, right? Just doing whatever. And my sister, out of nowhere, goes, one time I saw a fairy fly through the forest. My sister's 18. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, it was a couple years ago. I guess she saw, yeah, she was like 16 or like 15 or 16. She's like, yeah, like, my sister's like, not a fucking pothead or anything like that. She was like, yeah, I saw like a fucking full on like Tinkerbell just go through the forest. And I was like, that's terrifying. I hope you're not a psychopath. It was weird. Super weird.
Like, with, like,
so
wings and shit?
No. So I'm getting to it.
creature?
Sorry, I'm a little bit drunk right now, but I'm getting to a point. So since we were all together, I'm not making this up. Since we're all together, me, my brother, my other brother, and my sister. So she's 18. Everyone else is in their 20s. I'm in my late 20s. They're all in like the two brothers are in their early 20s. So we're sitting there like out on the other side of the property that we have at the cottage, which is like maybe 200 yards from like the main camp part of it. So we're having a fire in the bush. We're all like drinking whatever, hanging out. And my brother goes, "Did you see that?" And points into the bush. And I was like, me and my other brother and my sister look at him and we're just like, nah, man, like we don't, what are you talking about? And he was like, it looked like a really big ember floating through the trees, but it lit up all of the trees. But like our fire was clean. Like there was no shit flying out of it because there's a fucking fire zone. Like we're not stupid.
Right.
We're in the middle of the bush. Like we could literally burn an entire forest down if you're not smart, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then my sister got into that conversation. But he fucking all week, dude, he was like, I fucking swear to God, the thing lit up the whole bush. It was like big. And then he told
So
my sister
not
that
like
my
a
sister, no, there's no, it was like, it was October. There's no firefly, it's in October.
Okay.
But he was like, yo, like, he literally was like, yo, you see that? Like, as soon as he saw it, he was like, yo, what the fuck? And then we all looked and we were like, what? And he was like, it lit up the whole bush, man. He was like stoked about it.
Yeah.
He was like 20. He's 22 now. 21 at the time. Or no, sorry, 20 at the time. October. And he was just like, yeah, like wasn't drunk, just hanging out. Doesn't smoke weed, nothing. He was like, I fucking saw something fucking weird, man. And then my sister told us that story and I was like getting the heebie-jeebies. It was fucked. Yeah, there's shit out there, man. I honestly think there's shit out there. I know I'm on a tangent right now, but whatever. There's shit out there.
Yeah, I've definitely never seen anything.
You never seen anything
like
cool?
That. Definitely no luminous creatures in the forest. I've never seen that shit, man.
I don't know if there's actual fairies, but I've seen weird shit when I was a kid, man.
I mean,
For
they're
sure.
probably aliens, but
You never seen it?
not fairies, but they're definitely
You never seen anything weird in your life? Nothing.
aliens. Yeah, of course I have. Yeah.
What's what? What?
Like I'm pretty sure I've told you this before about the 5 dots in the sky.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
a
Middle of
good
the
one.
fucking day. In the direction of the setting sun too. So it's like extra bright. Like they were very bright dots in a semicircle, like 5 of them. And just like one by one, bottom to top, they just disappeared.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'll start to pee again.
You gotta pee again? What the
Dude, I'm a child.
You are a child.
I'm
Yes.
4'0", dude. I'm a child. I have the bladder.
All right. Do your fucking thing.
I have the bladder of a pony.
Yeah.
Not impressive. Has she?
And we're back again.
Aliens are real.
Aliens are fucking. Do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. Yeah. Like I've always believed my entire life that aliens are real. Like they're around.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. It's
But
just
why
what
don't
they're-
why
what
is
they're
that
here and
taboo?
What they're doing, I don't know, but it's very clear that they're here.
Why is it taboo to believe in that?
Like, is it that taboo?
Maybe
anymore?
I feel like if either of us went home and we were like to our parents and we were like, "Yo, I believe in aliens," they would be like, Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, they would definitely.
So
consider it weird.
therefore, it's
Yeah.
taboo.
I guess so.
Like on a general
for-
scale, it's kind of taboo, man.
Yeah, I guess it still is taboo.
Like if you were like
But for people in our
aliens are
generation,
here and
I
they've
don't
been
know.
here for a long time, man. You like anyone that you know would be like most of the people you know would be like, yeah, all right, Luke's a little bit unhinged.
Yeah, I probably yeah.
Or most people don't put a thought into that, which is even more fucked up.
Well, they definitely don't think about it, which is a damn shame because you should be thinking about it. It's something that's like it's. I mean, any of these like leaked things that the Pentagon is saying are real should be the biggest news of our generation, and like
It should be the biggest news
Yeah.
in like in human history, man.
should be.
Like acknowledging that,
Yeah.
or in essence, starting to prove that there is other intelligent life forms that are here and visiting. That would be the biggest news in human history.
Mm-hmm.
And even just acknowledging that, like, hey, we don't know what's going on, is kind of saying that
Mm.
in a sense, and that it's fucked up that most people were just like, yeah, it's crazy, bro. How the fuck is that the reaction? How?
I have no idea. Maybe it's gonna take a couple more generations until people actually care about it. I don't know. Because definitely the situation that we're in now.
Do they
is
have to
different than
fucking
30
fly over
years ago.
cities? Like, do they have to actually just...
Well, they're already flying over cities.
No, I mean, like, just park over cities and then just, it'd be like all over the news for people to be like, hey, yeah, this is a real thing. Just gonna go worry about it now.
I guess most people would just like hold out until they do actually drop down and legitimately make the presence known.
Like in the
right?
public eye.
Yeah.
Like in
If,
the...
if ETs are walking around being like,
The
"Hey,
Childhood's
we're, here,
End?
we're doing the things,"
You see it in Childhood's End?
no.
It's good. It's very good. It's not very good. It's just good.
Yeah, but I think that would be like that would be the end of it. It would like there would just have to be ETs walking around being like, "We're definitely here."
You don't think the government can ever
But
be like,
I don't
yeah,
think
they
that
were
would
always
be
here?
recent. I think it would be, I don't know. It could be another 1,000 years before they actually decide to do that.
I hope
Who the
not.
fuck knows?
But why would you put this stuff in the media now? Also, the timing of
To
it's
get
kind
people-
of fucked. No,
Yeah. Like, do you mean like while COVID is going on?
yeah,
Like this is the perfect time to
Yeah.
disclose
yeah,
crazy information?
because no one paid attention to it because there was something
That's
else.
true. Yeah, I guess that's true. But then again, why?
Because it would be a bombshell if it did drop before or after. Because people might panic just about that.
I suppose.
I don't fucking know. I still think it's weird.
I would have assumed that would be like more of a cover for something else, but like when they first started doing this shit, I assumed it was just a way of covering up some other corruption in the government or something.
See, that's
like
that's that interesting side of thinking where, like, when something actual comes out,
Yeah.
people go, "Oh, maybe they're hiding something."
Yeah.
So what if, like, this whole
Yeah, it's
variant
like, oh, look
thing
over
and-
here. Don't look over here.
Yeah, but what if that
Aliens
doesn't?
are real. Don't look over here.
But what if that doesn't exist, even to the level of like all these restrictions and stuff? Like, you and I have started to look at it as like dystopian measures. But what if they are legitimate? Do you think that they could be legitimate? Because I don't really know at this point in time.
Legitimate and actually like doing away with COVID legitimate or
Just
legitimate?
both things. Like both with like the alien, not alien, but the we don't know what the fuck is
alien
going on.
agenda? What?
No, just like both with like the whole like, oh hey, there's some videos we don't know, but also here's COVID and all the things that are happening.
I don't know. Like, as far as the restrictions go, I don't know if it's like that legitimate. I think if governments around the world were actually like looking at the science, they would be able to figure out better ways of combating this. But
And maybe not pharma selling millions and millions and millions of dollars in vaccines, which apparently
yeah,
now have to be taken every 6 months,
yeah,
which
yeah.
would be bought
Yeah, that
and
should be
sold.
something that you should really be thinking about. You know, who's really making money off of this program. But also the fact that nobody's ever speaking about uh, treating COVID.
No.
It's always, let's eradicate from the face of the earth these vaccines that you have to take every 6 months, and they cost millions of bajillions of dollars that we got to pay to Pfizer every fucking year now.
I thought vaccines were too.
It's ridiculous, you know. And again, like, if they were actually paying attention to science, they would do something like that and try to treat it.
No, they're not.
Because a lot of doctors and scientists agree, like, this is going to be the next flu.
Yeah.
You're just going to be dealing with it.
Yep.
So why not treat it, you know? The flu isn't, you know, the flu isn't a scary thing. You get the flu and you're like, okay, I got to see my doctor and, like, get medication, and then you're good in 5 days. Right? We're not afraid of it because there's treatment for it.
I don't like agree comparing COVID to the common cold or the common flu, which I know that's not what you're doing. But I think what you're saying is, like, when the flu came into effect, it crushed a lot of people because it was unprecedented, because it was a new thing. So I do agree with you in the fact that COVID could be the new flu. I do understand that. I understand what you're saying. I also understand that people are dying
hard now, but it will become something like the flu.
I think, and what I've said from the beginning, and you can call me crazy on this and call me stupid for, which people have kind of like scoffed at me for saying this, but like the 9/11 stuff that happened was obviously terrible, but the security measures involved in that have been lasting to this day.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Harry Truman that said, never let a good crisis go to waste. So I do think it was interesting that when that happened, we still haven't stopped those security measures at all.
Yeah.
And then when you look at what's happening now, you could, if you think about it in a certain way, which would be biased, and if you think about it in a different way, which also would be biased, but I think it's healthy to have an open mind for being like, okay, looking back on what happened there and the fact that there's either been zero, like, insane terrorist attacks stopped with planes and stuff like that from 9/11, then there has been, attacks that have happened.
Yeah.
But you can look at those same measures now and the fear-mongering that's going on, because it is starting to get kind of fucked. Like, there's billboards, there's radio commercials, there's TV commercials, there's YouTube ads.
Yeah, the YouTube
depending
ads,
on what region you're in.
Yeah.
It's getting weird. There's social media posts about it. If you mention the letters COVID on social media, you get like a flag thingy on the bottom of your post. It's weird. And I do feel like it could be taken as another measure of control. I do feel like that could be a possibility. I'm not saying that's exactly what they're doing, but I'm at the point where I'm like, this is fucking freaky. I don't know what's going on.
I think they're definitely.
And the push for the vaccine is getting fucking wild.
Because, look at what we're going through right now. I mean, like, at the very beginning of the pandemic, they were talking about the new normal, and we are living in the new normal. New normal of, like, running, like, waves of lockdowns and shit like that. We've never had a period of time where we could take masks off or anything like that.
For the last year,
everything has been
year and a bit. It was March, right?
State.
March was when it happened.
Yeah, last March.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always been in a, like, somewhat restricted situation, and I don't think they're ever going to lift that.
Probably not. Maybe
Because,
not.
why
Maybe
would
not
you?
in full essence, but how could you go back to normal after this fear?
I think even if
Like this is for me normal now. I
Mm-hmm.
just put a neck gaiter over my face.
yeah, and throwing the mask.
I
on
saw a
is
guy with a
normal, right?
balaclava on today in Tim Hortons, and he got served.
Yeah, yeah.
If that would have happened 2 years ago, if he would have walked in with a balaclava, I would just have left the restaurant because that's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's just how
But
it
now
is,
you can
man.
do it. It's fine.
It's not helping you with anything. The thing that I wear doesn't help me with
No.
anything. It's a fucking piece of neoprene around my neck. Call me an idiot. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
I
know,
think,
man. I honestly don't know anymore. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I don't know what to think. I don't know who to trust. I see things on the internet. I see posts on social media, which I hate. I see the echo chamber
Yeah.
of not even just COVID, just things happening socially, and it pisses me
social
off.
media is the worst. I mean, it's not even just like COVID stuff, but it's like
Everything else.
there is so much division and so much like. I
You
mean,
hear-
to
you
use the
hear,
term fake news, there is a lot of fake news out there.
You hear NBC got caught?
What?
Yesterday, I think it was the little kid. It's a very sad story, man. A little kid got shot in the States, obviously. But NBC got so apparently, allegedly, the story was that this little kid, 13 years old. I do forget his name because there's been so many. It wasn't. Yeah.
But NBC got caught with what?
NBC got caught with doctoring the footage, cropping the image, the Axum body camera from the cop. The little 13-year-old kid did have a handgun.
What, really?
Yeah, I'll show you the video after this is done because it's graphic. But it was this whole thing. But NBC published the images of him putting his hands up without the gun, but failed to show the video of him actually dropping the handgun as he turned around, and the cop saw the gun and the cop shot. Cop maybe didn't do a great job. Cop maybe was fearing for his life. Maybe cop didn't know he was 13. I'm not defending police officers when they do that kind of shit. It's fucked up. But very interesting. I'll show you it after. It's anyone can find this on the internet.
That's really fucked up, actually.
Yeah, Devontae Wright shooting was also very interesting. A lot of shootings in the States have been fucking pretty crazy, man. A lot of weird.
There's been a lot
of weird shit.
going on. Yeah.
But
I think it's like there's so many shootings in the States all the time.
Yeah.
And it's weird how they pick particular shootings as like political talking points. You know,
Didn't talk
even,
about
even
the
though
one
it
in-
happens every day. in the
Didn't talk
States.
about the one in Boulder.
No.
Boulder, Colorado, man. Didn't talk about that, but you're gonna talk about the one in the FedEx one is all over the news now. Probably won't be tomorrow because the guy was walking white.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
Well, because there will be on next.
could be
one
wrong on that.
tomorrow.
Well, that
That'll just be a new thing
Biden
tomorrow.
is also trying to cut down or chomp in on gun control.
Yeah.
But we should end this
Well,
soon
let's
because
see how that works,
I gotta go home. But
All right. Well, let's end it right now, man.
wasn't trying to cut the conversation off.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah. If you gotta go, you gotta go.
big Luke. You gotta work tomorrow.
All right. Well, fuck. We talked a lot of shit. It was really good.
So much
Very
shit.
fun.
Aliens are real.
Aliens are real. Super lockdown tomorrow, apparently. Whatever.
Actually,
Who cares?
it already happened.
Well,
It's-
today, yeah.
It's 12. It's 1 a.m.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. It's fucking over.
Hey,
Tune in
sheesh.
next time. I'm gonna try to actually do this like more.
Hey, sheesh.
Because I took so many fucking months off. But we're gonna do it again. For sure.
We do it again. We could go again. We could do it.
And we're gonna fucking do it, brother.
If anyone is listening to this and they know what the game is, the game.